You're watching the Soul Smoking Gooder Show. Are y'all high? Because I am. Enjoy the show.
Hello, I'm Joey Smith with Texas Chrome Barbecue. Here watching the Soul Smoking Gooder Show. Did I say that right?
This is Bill Purvis with ChickN Barbecue, and you're watching the Soul Smoking Gooder Show. Boom.
Are you ready to turn up the heat? 1. Let's go! Because you've just tuned in to the one and only So Smoking Gooder Show. We're coming to you live from Bullhorn Barbecue headquarters in Cypress, Texas. This is the show where we talk all things barbecue and brews, and you better believe we're here to have a good time. Get ready for the man who knows barbecue like the back of his hand, the guy who can tell you the difference between an IPA and a stout blindfolded, and the life of every party, your barbecue pitmaster and the host with the most, Rob Arocha. Whether you're part of the Gooder Gang or just here for the special guests, barbecue competition updates, or maybe even to rate some boxes, strap in, fire up those smokers, and crack open a cold one, because the So Smoking Gooder Show starts now.
Yes, what is up? Hashtag Gooder Gang. How you guys doing? It's another Wednesday night. You know where to be. That's right here, a little after 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, August 7th, 2024. Where is the time going? We are almost entering 2026. It feels like the time is going so fast right now. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are enjoying your middle of the break, little hiatus, watching me and Eddie do our show along with producer Ty. We appreciate each and every one of you guys watching, guys and gals. However you're watching, we appreciate it. A lot of you guys are checking in on Facebook. Some of you guys are checking in on the YouTube, and a couple are on the Twitches. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep saying it. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and that little thumbs up guy, click that guy as well. We appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, thank you very much. Twitch, do your thing. We appreciate it. Yes, ZZ Top fan, smash that like button. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for checking this out. 7 years in, we appreciate it. It's time to bring in the co-host of the evening. We're talking about Mr. Eddy Morales from the Pitfather Barbecue. Let's bring him in right now before we get started.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? How are you, my man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Can't complain.
Can't complain. We can't start this show without introducing my man, Eddy Morales. And we can't start the show without bringing on producer Ty, who's doing all of the legwork in the background.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? How are you, Ty? How are things with you?
I am well. I actually did some due diligence and looked at some sketch comedy and went down the rabbit hole. I didn't see anything terrible that y'all were talking about, but that dude's funny as hell.
Yeah,
Are you talking about
the sketch guy?
Timu Phil?
No, the sketch guy that does the hey, brother.
Sketch. No. Oh, did you go down the rabbit hole?
I didn't find anything terrible, but I watched about 30 of them. They're funny. But I didn't see anything crazy you were talking about.
He's good.
You didn't go far enough down the rabbit hole.
Right. Yeah. It'll eventually happen.
Yeah. Hey, you pulled up a little slide in the intro. Pull that up real quick. That shit was funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The
Timu Phil. Yeah, he's a good guy last week to have on. Timu Phil, intergalactic barbecue world champion from down under. Feel the beard. Your efforts are futile.
This guy, he's traveling from the upper West Coast. He's the what do they call that? The Northwest. He's in the upper Northwest, traveling back home. Thanks for him for coming on the show last week. It was pretty successful. What do you think about that, Eddy?
I'm sorry. Say that again. I was reading this stupid comment from some guy.
I said, what'd you think of Timu Phil checking in with us?
Oh, that
Phil
was great,
Phil on a mobile, Phil from Wish, whatever you want to call it.
That was great, man. I loved it. It was fucking good too. Like it just he just ran with it, man. It was perfect.
Yeah, that's gonna be a recurring guest on the Smoking Gooder Show. Ty, are you doing okay, man? You look crystal freaking clear right now. This is
yeah, my I had my other computer that I normally sit at and do the the stuff from behind the scenes over there. It died, so I'm using my podcast for the Triple Threat Vet setup. So yeah, that's why the picture probably looks good.
You're
I
gonna
bet you just cleaned your camera.
And I
a little
shaved, shaved and cleaned the camera. So
I can see that you
Surprise!
missed the spot. That it's so clear. You missed the spot. It's so
bit.
clear.
7, still 7. I'm just kidding.
I no doubt I didn't think I would get anything higher at all, Eddie.
Still a 7. All right. Well, Ty, you got anything to add before we get out of there? What's going on with your show? What you got going on, man?
Excited for the show tomorrow. We're gonna have a check-in from a couple special guests. I don't want to say who, but it might be you, Rob. You might be coming on to do a special check-in with us, and then we're gonna have Vincent Rocco Vargas check in with us.
Awesome.
Border Border Patrol agent, Army Ranger, badass dude on my NMC, and he's got a new show on Ironclad called Borderland.
Awesome. You're not just the co-host of, or the producer of this show. You're also a co-host of your own show. So please plug that real quick. How can they find it, and where can they find it?
You can find the Triple Threat Vet podcast across Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, X, and we come on live every Thursday at 8 p.m.
X as well. Wow. Damn. All 5 social media contents. All right, my man. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I know. We need to step our game up, Eddie. For sure. Eddie, how you been, my man?
Shit, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just working and just hanging out. I didn't cook this past weekend. I don't remember.
I heard you were in Schulenburg.
No, I wasn't. I should have been.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
I wish I was.
Okay.
I don't know who the fuck said I was in Schulenburg.
You said you were
I
going
was
to Schulenburg.
gonna go to Schulenburg, but I didn't.
All right. Are you just saying that because you didn't get a call, or you just
hell no? Nah. Everybody would know if I didn't get a call. But
I heard there were some crazy scores over there.
I don't know. I stay out of that stuff. If I'm not there, I don't care anymore. Apparently, I like to stir the pot, and I'm a bad guy, and you shouldn't be my friend.
Oh,
so
is that what you're hearing?
Because of the whole hair and the fucking trade deal, and I was making a big deal out of it, and everybody's like, "Oh, it wasn't even his box." I don't give a fuck. It's a fellow cook's box, bro.
Are you not a friend? Are you no longer a friend of that sanctioning body, or is that
no? It wouldn't. No. It didn't have anything to do with the sanctioning body.
All right, cool.
They were just mad because I was voicing my opinion. It wasn't anybody that even cooks often.
Well, good. It shouldn't be like that. You know, we talk on this show all the time. You know, we voice opinions. We try to keep it. We try to keep it level.
Yeah.
On this deal. So if we talk, I
wasn't at Schulenburg. I wish I was though. I don't know why I didn't go. I think I couldn't find a brisket again. So I'm just gonna keep on ordering.
Barbecue store, bro.
They have snakes, golds.
No, but they got some rosewood wagyus from the chopping block. That's
they don't have gold. I never cooked one, so I can't agree or disagree with you.
Fair enough, my man. All right, are you cooking this weekend?
Yes, but not at a competition. Every year for Austin's Most Wanted Barbershop, they do a which is my cousin by marriage. They do a back to school event for the kids, give away haircuts and backpacks, and you got free food, you got vendors, you got all kinds of cool stuff for families and stuff to do. And so I'm doing that. I do it every year. So yeah, I'll be there. I was gonna try to cook and then haul ass back and start cooking for that, but nah, I can't do that. So, but yeah, I'll be cooking next weekend.
All right. I love it. You'll be cooking next weekend, not so much this weekend. You are doing some cool stuff. I think that's really cool, man. How many years you been doing this?
I don't know. However long I've been with my wife, so maybe about 5 or 6 years.
So
5 or 6 years.
1 year.
Yeah.
Married.
Yeah.
So do you get credit? Let's talk about that real quick. So do you get credit for dating, the dating years, or is it only starts when you get married?
That's a good question. I never really thought about it, but I say we've been together for almost 8 years. But
together 8 years, married for 1.
Yeah, but that's too much. That's too much. That's a longer sentence. So I just say, oh yeah, we've been together for 8 years.
All right. So you do count. You do count the dating years.
I guess so.
I don't think people count the dating years, bro. I think it's.
So how long y'all been together? Oh, 7 months.
What do you think, Ty? What is it there?
I was going to say, I dated my wife in high school, so I definitely I count those 8 to 9 months that we dated in high school. We went to my junior prom in high school, so we've been together for 15 years and 8 months.
Yeah.
Hold up.
So as long as you've been together, I count, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean,
I thought he was
going to say 8 to 9 years, but he said 8 to 9 months.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We dated in high school my junior year for about 8 or 9 months. And we went to my junior prom. Then we both married other people. I had children. Okay. We both got divorced from those other people. We got back together in 2008 and been together ever since. So
15 years.
15 years and 8 months.
All right. Well, all right.
I guess we've only been together for 5 months.
All right. 22 years. Just celebrated my anniversary. Shout out to my wife, Diana Rocha. 22 years, 7 years. So, damn. I'm coming up on 3 decades. 3 decades, bro. That's
so. What do you? So y'all been married for 22 years.
22 years, bro. August 3rd, 2022.
And then y'all dated for 7 years.
We dated for 7.
God damn, that's fucking a long time. That's like Jesus.
Yeah. I've been hearing about it since I've been married.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Look at that Pit Loftbot. He's been together with Mrs. Mags 30 years. If that's the case. Oh, if that's the case. All right. That's a topic I didn't plan on talking about tonight, but
most people are saying count them all.
Count them all. All right. 29 years then.
Damn.
Bro, that's a long time. That's a long time. All right. Yeah, did not count on talking about that tonight, but that's how it goes. No, bro, I'm 52 years old. Just celebrated my birthday as well on July 28th. Y'all heard me talk about that last week. Birthday, and then 5 days later, anniversary. That's how it works out. Roddy, 24 years. Look at that. Everybody put your numbers up. Let's go. It's a big time to be celebrating this deal right now.
If you've been married like 4 times, just put them all. Each one.
just addition, right? Brad Fairman, just like World Championships, you count them all. We will have a conversation about World Championship. What constitutes a World Championship? Is it only a GC and a World Championship event, or do you consider yourself a world champion with a category win? We're going to talk about that. I had some really good input. Chris Davis put that topic out there. Eddie, you and I have touched on that.
It's kind of hard to give an opinion on that without offending people. So that should answer the question.
Look, we got numbers, and we have to celebrate this. This is pretty cool. Roddy, 24 years. Nicho, 25, married. My boy, Hector, 20. Gordo Q, 10. Danton, what's up, Danton? 36. Louis, single AF. I love it.
Who's that guy? Does he even cook?
Michelle Machado, 26. What's up, Michelle? How are you? Robert Michelle, 15. Bobby Delgado, 19. Little Gringo, 26. The dude celebrated a 5-year anniversary on August 3rd. Oh, congratulations. That's the same date. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Jared McCrory celebrated 12 years. Robert Smith, what's up? The man, the myth, the legend, together, 26, married, 20. Ricardo, 16. Uwe, I saw that. He just celebrated his 36th anniversary. This is pretty cool. Not planning on talking about it, but it's really cool to see the Gooder Gang and their numbers. Daddy Dutch, 36. Armando, what was that? I just saw it. I'm sorry. Scrolling up. 15, married in November. Brisketeers, 31. I'll tell you later. 4. Corby, 31.
Damn it.
14. Was 31 the biggest number? Did I miss something?
No, there was a 36er.
There was a 30. Oh yeah, Uwe. There we go. I think Uwe's got the longest one.
Brandon has everybody beat.
Brandon
has everybody beat.
I've been probably unmarried for 3
I'm gonna give that comment I'll give it an 8. Just kidding.
You've been killing him. 5 years married, 18 years together. Okay, he's got me beat there. Kevin Hernandez. 5 years married, 18 together. What's going on with these? I don't know what's going on here. All right, 40. All right, Larry Vaughn got us all beat. Married, 45. Married, 44. Minotti, 45. Larry Vaughn. Larry Vaughn checking in from South Jersey.
James almost won.
Yeah, almost. He's the reserve grand champion of this informal poll. All right. So tonight we got a great show for you lined up for tonight. We got Mr. Chris Davis of Crossed Rifles Barbecue. He posted a really good interactive post about what constitutes a world champion or a world championship, excuse me. And, you know, when you claim a world championship, is it only winning a GC at a world championship, or are you also a world champion category cook? And I've had some good people follow up with me, and they kind of commented on what they feel. So we're gonna bring all that to light tonight. I think it's a great subject. Eddie, like I mentioned earlier, you and I have touched on this subject before. Let's get somebody that's not. He is tied in, but he's not like completely locked in on this deal. Ty, come on in here real quick. You've heard the talk. You've heard the conversations. As somebody that is, not completely locked in as a competition cook or a head cook or anything, whatever it may be.
Definitely not.
How you feel?
I was thinking about this after kind of the subject got broached last week, but I'm pretty sure that I'm on the team. If you win a world championship cook and you win that category, you should be called a world championship pork cook, world championship, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you win the whole thing, like if you win a world championship, so-and-so, you just a world champion, 3-time world champion Robert Smith, or 4-time. I don't know how many he is now, but I knew he was 3, right?
Higher than that.
Okay. My bad. Yeah. Bad, Robert. But anyway, I think categories.
All right, cool. Well, there you go. That's producer Ty with his chime in. Ty, we're going to run down the Gooder Gang. That's what we do each and every week before we start the gist of the show. I wanted to give Chris Davis some time. I wasn't sure Chris was going to come on, or Eddie for that matter. But Eddie says, I'm always in. Just send me the link. But Chris was having some trailer issues. We'll talk to him in just a minute about that. But Ty, let's what's that? Go ahead, Eddie.
I think you welcomed the Gooder Gang with their marriage years.
Man, kind of did, but let's give some people that let's give the single people some love real quick. We'll run this down real quick. Daddy Dutch, what is going on? First in, Carlos Calzada. Have my crayons ready. Don't know what that means. ZZ Top fan, he already chimed in already. Larry Vaughn, we said hello. The dude as well. I'll tell you later. Barbecue. Randall Johnson, Ocala Q checking in. Armando de Luna, what is up, my man? Little Gringo, how are you? Ricardo Nieto, Hector Cienega, what's going on? Jared McCrory, what is up? Corby Simpkins, Sam Demerit. Guys are real quick. They have a new show on Mondays at 8 o'clock. That is Sam, Anthony, of course, Serge, our follow team. And man, I'm missing somebody. Sam, tell me who I'm missing. I'm sorry. But they have a new show Mondays at 8 o'clock, Beyond the Smoke. You can find that on YouTube, maybe on Facebook as well. Uwe Braun, what is going on? My boy Bobby Delgado, what is up? How are you? Triple Up Barbecue, what's up, fellas? Welcome to the show, my man. Brian Fox, world champion, checking in. On Eddie's list, he was a world champion. Joseph Pucci, what is going on? Robert Michel, what is going on? Louis Gonzalez, ever since you got this Edward more or less guy, I'm not sure how I feel.
Who the fuck is this guy? Does he even cook, bro?
He called you Edward. Brandon Perriman, what is up? Pit Life Barbecue, that's Johnny Maggs, for those that don't know. Who else we got here checking in? Serge, there he is. What's up, Gooder Gang? Hashtag Bullhorn Worldwide. Yeah, that might actually come true more than we know here in a little while. Los 239 Grillers, what's going on? Samantha Cherry, hello, how are you? All right, we did the numbers here. Sarah Joe, what is going on? Luis Rivas, hello from Mexico. What's up, my man? Michelle, we said hi to Michelle Machado. Who else we got here? I'm sorry. Let's roll down. Danton, what is going on? Shaler Chapo, what's going on? All fired up. Barbecue coming up. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. Joyce Regino, 9 years, 8/29. Is that your wedding date? Pretty cool. It's coming up. All right. We're almost down. We're almost through it. Stephen Foster, what's going on? John JJ Jensen, hello from Alaska. Well, welcome to the show, my man. Appreciate you checking in. Stephen Pfeiffer, just his wife just had a birthday yesterday. John Turner, what is going on, my man? That's the chopping block for those that don't know. Lance Meeks, what is going on? Slab City Barbecue, what is up, homie? Appreciate you checking in. All right, Luis Rivas has a question. We will star that, and we will get to that later in the show. Tongue Win Gooder Gang LFG bartender just showed up. Thank you.
There you
Diane.
go.
Bartender just showed up. James Pavia, 25 years on the 21st of this month, and Gordo Q checking in.
Dude.
All right, Ty, last order of business before we get to our man, Chris Davis, who is still getting settled in. I can see him in the green room. Ty, if you can put up all of our sponsors, and I will talk about them real quick. Let's keep it right there. Laredo Roofing Solutions. Laredo Roofing Solutions. If you guys, this is hurricane season right now. We got some weather coming in. We've already had some weather already happening. If you guys have any roofing issues, if you have anything going on with your home, Laredo Roofing Solutions can hook you up. They travel. They're just not in Laredo. They travel all over Texas. Again, I said, are you sure you want to sponsor the show? And he goes, yes, we got people all over. We can help everybody out. If you have an issue, contact Armando, Carlos, anybody, Ashley with Laredo Roofing Solutions. They can hook you up. All right, let's go. Keep it going. LC Barbecue. You know, Phil just coming back. We saw Phil last weekend. You guys know Phil. Lots of brines, injections, and rubs coming to you. That is LC Barbecue. You can find him on lcbarbecueshop.com. Bull printing, wraps, and graphics. I always talk, that's my day one, B1, bull printing, wraps, and graphics. If you need any signage, banners, anything to do with that, contact Bull Printing, Wraps, and Graphics. Of course, wraps, they do all that. And the barbecue store in Hempstead. A lot of people use this barbecue store in Hempstead. They have great customer service. Alana, Dustin, my son, Evan, everybody involved with the barbecue store, top-notch service, and they have everything you could need, not just rubs, not just sauces, but supplies, cutting boards, whatever you may need, whatever you're going to help you on a Saturday, they got it. Contact the barbecue store in Hempstead. Rec Tech, if you guys are looking for a pellet smoker, there's none other better than Rec Tech. I will be in Rec Tech next month, doing their Rec Tech Academy, along with Aaron Leslie. We'll be training a lot of people on the Rec Techs and how to cook barbecue. But yes, there you can find Rec Techs at the barbecue store in Hempstead as well. Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation, they do wonderful work for our veterans. They teach them life skills, teach them about barbecue, teach them about competition. These people know all about, being under fire. But this is just another avenue to help the veterans do that. Hopefully, Mr. Ty Cobb might be one of them as well, real quick. But they've got a big event coming up next weekend in El Campo at the El Campo Las Lagoon. That is the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation cook-off. It's a big-time event. I hope to see you there. Smoking Magic out of Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. They can hook you up. They've got some wonderful rubs, sauces. I have them in my arsenal. Wonderful products. That is Smoking Magic. Bree and Brad can hook you up with that. Pinkerton's Pit Barbecue. You can find them in San Antonio and Houston. Wonderful, wonderful restaurants. Great beef ribs. That's my favorite over at the beef ribs in Houston. Grant Pinkerton, not only that, he's a competition cook. He supports this. He watches the show. If you guys are in San Antonio or Houston, make sure you hit up Pinkerton's Pit Barbecue. Here we go. The Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads in Uvalde, Texas, December 13th and 14th, all on concrete, all on power. Some of the events have power. Some of the spots, have power. But a Friday night dinner, Friday night deal. This is the second two-time CBA event of the year. Wade Carpenter and crew do a phenomenal job. Make sure you try to attend the December 13th and 14th, 2024 Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads. The Danny Dietz Memorial Classic. I have some updates for that. That's coming up real soon, here in about 5 weeks. 5 weeks. I do have some updates. Go ahead, Eddie. Do you want to say something? Oh, all right. I thought you did.
No.
All
Trying to hold in the burp.
Oh, that's what it was. All right. I did talk to the promoter today, Jen Lee. She's got some updates. Discounted cabins are full. Cabins available, but not discounted. Lots of RV spots available with full hookups. Social hour during tray pickup, food and refreshments, quote unquote. That might mean beer. No one will want to miss the head cooks meeting. Doing something very new this year. It will be well worth the wait to attend. 50,000 reasons, $50,000 guaranteed, and teams from all over the U.S. and some international teams. We'll see what Chris Davis has to say about that. We'll see about that. There's some international teams at the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic this week. Were you going to say something, Eddie?
I was going to say, so is that a world championship?
We'll talk about that. Here. Half-fast cookers, my boy Tuna Win. Not Tongue Win. Tuna Win and the boys at the Half-Fast Cookers crew. That's who I cook with at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We'll be having a big pitmaster party there on Wednesday night at the Half-Fast Cookers tent. We're going to have a good time out there. All right. Texas Original Charcoal. You guys know Joey Machado, Eddie Morales, Kevin Hernandez, Bobby Delgado, everybody that supports Texas, Michelle Martinez, I was going to say Castillo, and Adam Martinez, everybody involved here. They are running Texas Original Charcoal. You see them walking each and every weekend. That is some great product. Shout out to Joe Machado, Michelle Machado, for providing that. Cosmo's Q Products. I'm part of Team Cosmo. Eddie is part of Team Cosmo. I use each and every one of their products in all 4 of my entries. Cosmo's Q Products, great deal. Team Cosmos. All right, we got We Branded Promotions. If you guys need any shirts, apparel, whatever it may be, they also do banners. Contact Julie Stanley with We Branded Promotions. K&R Pipeline Services, Willie Richards. Appreciate Willie. Willie, he just had a goodness of the heart supporting our show right now. Willie Richards, K&R Pipeline Services. The Chopping Block Meat Market. Sarah Joe's in the comments. John Turner's in the comments. They are in Webster and Victoria. They just had a great showing out in El Paso. But if you guys need some quality meats, you can also find them at the barbecue store in Hempstead. Quality meats, that's going to put you on the top 10 in each of one of your contests. You got to start with some quality meats, and they provide it. The Chopping Block Meat Market in Victoria and Webster. Texas Oil Dust, Aaron Leslie. This boy's just traveling all over the world. You guys know all about Texas Oil Dust, all of his brines, injections. He's got that sauce with the brisket. It's amazing. That's Aaron Leslie, Texas Oil Dust. And we got the Chupacabra Barbecue Throwdown coming up at the end of November. Beginning of November. That's one that kicks off the CBA season. That is going to be in Eagle Pass, Texas. ChickN Bark. ChickN Bark will have a show on later tonight. But hey, where's the All Fired Up benefit one? Ty, please. Excuse me. That is the beginning of December. My bad. Not November. It does kick off the CBA deal.
I don't see the All Fired Up one.
What? We had it on there. We'll post that here in just maybe later in the show. But the All Fired Up benefit cook-off is going to be in Pleasanton, Texas in March. So plenty of time to talk about that. We do have the All Fired Up benefit cook-off. I will talk about that later in the show. I want to make sure I definitely talk about that one. All right. Here we go. Eddie, thanks for sticking around for all of that, my man. We're gonna have Mr.
What am I supposed to do? Leave?
No, you gotta hang out. What are you drinking?
It's my spit bottle.
You're not drinking tonight?
Oh yeah, I got some tequila and club soda in here.
Tequila and club soda. Are you on a diet?
I'm trying to finish this bottle.
Oh, that's some good one. You have been showing that for quite a bit right now.
Yeah, it's probably my third week with it, but I need to make it last a little bit. But I'm trying to finish it before I crack open another Tito's.
That's Ace Marquez checking in from Slab City. Sean Trainer, what's up, brothers? How are you? All right, let's. We've been talking about it. Let's bring him on right now. I wanted to give him a break. He said, "Hey, I might be 8:30, and it is 8:32, right on time." Let's get my man from Crossed Rifles Barbecue. You guys see what he does each and every time he's out there cooking. He's not only doing IBCA, he does a bunch of CBAs, but he's also doing a bunch of KCBS. So this man travels the country doing barbecue. Producer Ty, let's bring him on right now. We're talking about Mr. Chris Davis from Cross Rifles Barbecue. There he is right now.
What's up, Gooder Gang? What's up, Rob? Fuck you, Eddie.
Are you running for office right now? I wish you were.
I am, and I approve this message.
we are definitely not going to talk about politics tonight, unless you want to.
That would be a great subject.
That would be a great subject. Maybe we will.
Probably lose a lot of followers.
We will. I feel like we need to
lose some followers.
No, we don't want to lose any followers. It's just we want to educate some people, but I think we're all in the same deal, so we can't have a level discussion on politics right now. So we won't do that right now. But let's talk about politics.
Very one-sided, like right-sided.
It would be. Let's talk about the politics of barbecue, my man. Chris Davis, before we get into that, man, how are you? How's Bobby? How is everybody in the Cross Rifles crew? It's been a little while since we've had you on the show. Appreciate you coming back on. We had some issues. Chris was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it tonight, bro. I was like, well, I'm going to hold out until you tell me no.
Yeah, we had some issues tonight, man. The refrigerator in the trailer decided to take a shit, and I had everything in it for 2 comps. So I was lucky to catch it in time, but I had to go and get that taken care of. So sorry I'm late.
No, you weren't late. We're good.
You're right on time.
You're right on time, my man.
I usually am.
Awesome. But Cross Rifles, I mentioned in the on the intro, we were going to talk about 2024, what your goals were for the remainder of 2024, going into 2025. But how's 2024 been for you guys? I feel like you haven't been cooking as much as you were. Is that true?
That's true. We kind of took a break for a little while, reset the batteries, and see where we're at and where we want to be at and what our goals are moving forward, So we really want to cook more KCBS. I mean, I'm far more comfortable with a 30-minute timeline, and I really like KCBS. So we're leaning more towards KCBS, but we still will cook out CBA. No IBCAs, but we'll cook CBA here and there. So we're cooking one this weekend in Poteet. So
awesome. Where exactly are you located at, Chris?
Schertz, Texas. It's right smack dab in between like Austin and San Antonio.
Yeah, that's Central Texas. Yeah, that's pretty much right there. So if you're going to go and seek out a KCBS event, you got some traveling to do, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, sometimes further depending on the event. But I don't mind the windshield time. My wife, Bobby, she can work from home. So it's pretty good for us.
All right, Eddie, let's chime in whenever you want to, because I got some questions for my man, Chris Davis.
I talked to him on the phone enough today, so I'm good.
Well, then I want to hear about that. That's the kind of cool stuff we want to hear about. What y'all talk about. Is that okay for the public?
What me and Eddie talk about is sometimes PG rated, but most times not.
Yeah.
So
this is not a PG rated show.
Hurt some feelings.
This is on the interweb, so you can say whatever you want. You can even show a little hairy nipple, because I bet Chris has got a hairy ass chest. What do you think, Eddie?
Oh, you're probably right.
I think his beard goes from his fucking face down to his fucking nutsack.
Oh, you can pipe him.
She's agreeing. Bobby knows, and she's laughing because she agrees with what we're saying. She knows it's true.
His brother's calling Chewbacca.
So you know how when you get one of those robots, you know, them little robots that go around and vacuum up everything. You got to name that robot. Well, Bobby's like, she asked me, she's like, hey, what do you want to name the robot? And I said, let's call it the fucking hair goblin.
Y'all ain't even got a fucking dog. It's just you.
It's just me.
Yeah, that's no dog. It's all Chris just shedding all over the place. Chris, the older you get, I bet you shed a little more, but you surprised me. Chris and I were talking. I think we were in fact, I know. No, actually I don't. But you and I were talking and I asked you how old you were and you surprised the shit out of me of your age.
Yeah. A lot of people look at me and think I'm a lot older, man, but this is not gray hair. This is platinum. And through my time in service, I earned every fucking bit of it. So
yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you
He started
for your
shedding
service
from the top down. So
you got a fellow veteran in the house, producer Ty. We got veterans all over the place on this show and on the guest list tonight. So thank you for your service. But yeah, you're what, 44 now? How old are you? 44 years old. 2 years younger than Eddy Morales, sitting up there. My boy, Eddy is a little older than he looks, and you're definitely a lot younger than you look. And I guess I'm right in the area of where I look right now. But
let's not go there.
If you guys have any questions for Mr. Chris Davis from Cross Rifles Barbecue, put it in the comments. Producer Ty will star them, highlight them, and we'll talk to you. All right, Chris, you do you have any you're gonna do some more KCBS? I don't want to go forward without making sure we talk about Cross Rifles. Anything else you want to bring? Anything new with Cross Rifles before we get going?
This weekend we're going to do Poteet,
right?
And next weekend we're going to Hinton, Oklahoma. And then we have Danny Dietz, Pine Bluff, Oak Grove, Missouri. Hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe we'll get the draw tomorrow, and go to the Jack.
Absolutely.
You can still go to the Jack.
Well, you can go, but what's the point of going if you can't cook?
True.
That's like going to
very true.
It's like touching the Super Bowl trophy before you're able to actually win the Super Bowl. I don't want to go to the Jack unless we earn it or get a draw. That'd be nice.
I mean, going to the Jack and not cooking is kind of like being Drew Bledsoe playing for the New England Patriots. I mean, he was on the team, but did he win a ring? Not really.
He got a ring. Definitely.
He got one, but did he win it? Yeah, I mean,
he birthed Tom Brady, so he did something.
Yeah. This is true.
This absolutely true. All right. What are your goals going into the last part of the year now, 2024, 2025, with Cross Rifles? You said you're going to cook some more KCBS.
Just getting prepared for the Royal, really going for the rest of 2024, since the Royals, first weekend in November this year.
Right.
It's going to be a little weird going to the Royal, and having to wear sweatshirts and stuff. So, I mean,
I'm looking forward to that, actually.
I actually am too, man, because the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, it's been hot.
It's been hot, bro. Really hot.
So our goal next year, though, going into 2025, our goal is, I don't want to just go to the Jack. I want to win 7 to get to the Jack is what I want to do. So we're going to really focus on that next year. So.
Yeah, lots of teams inspired. It's really inspiring. I saw Brandon Perriman said, "Hey, this is a new cook too, Brandon." But he's like, "Man, this is really inspiring. I want to get off my butt. I want to go and win 7." A lot of people want to do it. It's so hard. So shout out to the people that did do it: Phil Breeden, Ira Green, Janky Leg, Brian Laniger. I'm sure I'm missing some, but man, it wasn't a long list of the Auto 7s. So it's a short list. And so you guys that went out there and did it, congratulations. That's awesome. What's up, Jen? How are you? Yeah, so good goals. I like that, man. I like the fact that you said you're just going to travel and do some windshield time and go and cook with your wife, do some KCBS events. What attracts you to KCBS? Why do you like it so much?
Man, the quick turn-in times, dude. There's no room for error. You have no time to make a mistake. If you make one mistake, that's it. You're done. You can make a mistake in IBCA, you can make a mistake in CBA, and you can still recover from it. You make a mistake in KCBS, I mean, you got to pray and hope for a lot of luck because there's no recovering from it. 9 out of 10 times, So,
yeah, I think the margin for error is different because we all know the rules. We all know what they're looking for versus CBA. We'll just compare the two because there's pork and whatnot. It's kind of similar. The freedom to do different cuts and turn in a box. But yeah, so KCBS, there's a parameter. We know what the judges are looking for because some of you guys, if you guys are not certified judges, it probably helps you to be one if you're going to go cook some KCBS versus CBA. It's so wide open with the random judges or people off the street. But
and with me being a veteran, I tend to, veterans tend to be a little more attention to detail than most other people, and it makes me be far more focused than I am when I do CBAs. So that's the reason why I prefer to cook KCBS for that reason, because I like to be focused. When I'm focused, I have no time to screw off and do stupid shit. So,
Eddie, what do you think about KCBS? I know you've had some success. You've done quite a few.
I love KCBS, man. It's my favorite to cook. Right? It's same reason. I mean, the timeline, and you don't get. I mean, you do get fucked, but not as much as you do on, what we usually cook on every weekend, and it's not easier, but it's definitely man, once you have a system down, it's hard to fuck it up. And again, you can't fuck it up, like Chris said. So you're always on your fucking game. And I saw a comment on here from Chris Main where he said he asked a question. He said if there was any challenges in switching back and forth from CBA and KCBS, turning times and building boxes and stuff like that. And man, I think the biggest challenge is just fucking being on time. Like you have to be done with all your cook by time chicken turning comes. If you ain't done with all 4 by that time, I mean, you're gonna be fucking chasing your tail, and it's a bitch, and especially on ribs and brisket and pork is just all of them, man. You just have to be fucking on time. It ain't much having fun, at KCBS the night before. You you get there and you get straight to work. Start building your boxes. If you're by yourself, right? Build your boxes and man, just get to it.
I build my boxes at the house before I leave, I build them here and I wrap them and I take them with me and I just flip them. That's what I do. I mean, to answer a little more to that question though, Chris, I mean, I would say that, talking to Chris, sorry, I was talking to my wife. She interrupted me.
I thought you just asked yourself a question for a second.
To answer a little more to that question, Chris, like my biggest thing with switching back and forth between CBA and KCBS is I play scenarios in my head all the time, like what could go wrong in a contest, and how I will go about fixing it, what I can do to fix it, how I'm going to fix it in real time. I play those scenarios in my head, the week leading up to the contest and the night before the contest, And I think with switching from CBA to KCBS is, okay, I just got to figure out my timeline. But switching from KCBS to CBA, I wonder what the hell I'm going to do with that extra 30 minutes. Because that extra 30 minutes, I mean, I'm just sitting there like, what do I do?
Yeah. And as far as my cook goes for, CBA or IBCA or Lone Star, or anything I cook, really, man, since I did my, second or third KCBS, man, I cook my KCBS timeline all the fucking time now. Like that's just what I'm used to now, and that's what I do. I mean, even if it's IBCA, I'm cooking that same fucking KCBS timeline, and my shit will sit longer. But when I got to go do a KCBS, I ain't got to worry about the timeline.
And I think it gives you an advantage too, Eddie, when you're cooking, an IBCA or a Lone Star, Outlaw, CBA, whatever too, because you have that extra 30 minutes to focus on, like we talked about earlier today, like timelines and finishing process, what can I do, to make this better?
Yep.
Before my turn in.
Robert Smith does not agree. He said stupid shit. But
Robert's just mad he couldn't start the damn helicopter this weekend in his backyard.
Robert's awesome. Checking in. Hey, shout out to Wes Garrett. He's checking in right now. What's up, Gooder Gang? Wes, we haven't seen Wes on the show in a few ever. We need to get Wes on the show. Definitely. We need some Wes Garrett with politically incorrect. All right. We talked some KCBS timelines. Eddie, you just let it rest, huh, bro?
Yeah. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Okay. I mean, it's never gonna get cold, Like if my shit sits in a Cambro and I keep adding hot shit to it. You know what I mean? So once you start adding your bigger meats in it, that shit's gonna stay hot.
It also helps when Lisa has 12 puzzles on top of that Cambro.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Extra fucking insulation.
She's just insulating it.
Yep.
All right, Chris, let's talk what people want to talk about tonight. You raised a great topic on your show. I mean, on your show, on your Facebook page. Let me read it exactly word for word because it got a lot of traffic, my man. Real quick, Jen Lee's in the comments right now. We just talked KCBS. If you guys want, we don't get a whole bunch of KCBS events down here in Texas. She had the backyard contest, which they did do a KCBS judges, training class. And so hopefully we'll have some more judges this year. I know last year it was kind of, I don't know the number, but felt like 60-40 certified or 40-60. I can't remember. But maybe 70-30. But this year it should even out a little bit more. So we don't get a lot of KCBS events down here in Texas. We got the Cedar Park one in April, but then we got one in September. That is the Carlo Casanova. What's up, Carlo? We got Danny Dietz Memorial Classic coming up big time real quick here in about 5 weeks. It's going to be at Jellystone Park in Waller.
Will you be there, Rob?
Yeah, of course I will be there. I'll be there. Pretty sure I've only missed maybe one.
What up?
I can't remember why. But your comment, let's read it. It got a lot of traffic, like I mentioned, my man. Eddie and I have talked about that. So we haven't really talked about it in depth, but we touched on it. That's why I wanted to bring you on. Chris, you had a lot of traffic. He goes, all right. On 5 days ago, it had 194 comments, which is a big deal when you're talking just on a post. Okay, let's talk barbecue. More specifically, let's talk world championships. It is my personal opinion that the only way you can consider yourself a world champion is by winning a GC at a world championship. What are your thoughts? ? Full disclaimer, I'm not attacking anyone's credentials. I'm just stating his opinion, Chris Davis's, and I'm asking for yours. Let's talk about barbecue. Did you expect that to blow up like it did, Chris?
I really didn't, Rob, but in today's day and age, we live in a society that, we're all talking heads and it's opinion shows, whether it be social media like we are right here, TV, radio, everything. That's all it really is, I think that if you can't voice your opinion, and have people talk about it, what's the point of anything, of life in general?
Absolutely.
Because, my personal opinion is what I said in that comment. It's the fact that if you do not win a GC at a world championship, I don't see how you can consider yourself a world champion. You can be a category champion, yes, but you cannot be a world champion. And I think that's something that kind of got, misinterpreted, throughout the comments in that whole thing,
I don't know if it got misinterpreted. I think we understood what you were talking about, and you have your opinion, and that's why Eddie and I are on the show. That's why the Gooder Gang was going to comment on that. And I don't. That's your opinion. I have a different opinion, and then listening and talking to people that have claimed world championships, right? As far as being a category champion, I don't really have any. I don't have any opinions to debunk what they say. If you're at a world championship and you win, I feel that in a higher regard that you won the actual event. To me, that is it's definitely a notch above being a category champion. But I think the way that our barbecue society works right now And I'm glad you asked the question because we wanted to talk about this. But I think the way that we've always operated is you win a world championship. That's awesome. You have a world championship. Probably you're going to win a category in that. So you're probably a 2-time world champion in that event. But my opinion differs from you. I feel like if you are a category champion at a world championship, you can also consider yourself a world champion category winner. I don't, and I feel like people that say that they also say, yeah, I won pork in this event, whatever it may be, a 2017 Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Well, obviously you don't have pork, but you have ribs, right? Yeah, I'm a rib champion at the 2017 Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo because it actually says world champion ribs, I believe, on the trophy. I will give credit to where credit is due, and I will also consider them a world champion. Eddie, what do you think, my man?
I think, well, first for me is it goes further than just the title of a world champion rib, pork, or brisket cook. Like, I mean, what are we considering? And this, I'm not trying to, again, take anything from anybody, but what is a world championship? What makes it a world championship? Is it just because you put world championship in the name of the cook-off? And if that's the case, if it's, whatever cook-off and it's a world championship and you don't have any international teams, but the name says world championship, well, then is it still a world championship? And if you win that, are you still a world champion? That's just, that's a question that I have, how y'all feel about that. But I think, and again, not taking anything from anybody, but I'll say you need to win the world championship to be considered a world champion. Now you can say I'm a world champion rib cook at Houston Rodeo or, at wherever the fuck you won your world championship. I mean, I won first place pork at the KCBS World. I don't know if there was a world international team there, but I'm not going to go and say, man, I'm a world champion pork cook.
I think that's the difference between you and a lot of people, Eddie. There's a lot of people out there, and the reason why I made that post was, I'm not attacking anybody, and I never mean to attack anybody, and I will never sit here and claim that I'm the best at anything, but I think that if you're going to go out there and you're going to say, I'm a 4-time, 6-time, 8-time, 9-time, 12-time world champion, you've never won. And by one, I mean GC, the world championship. Are you a world champion? In my opinion, you're not. You may be a champion in that category, but you're not a world champion. That was my whole purpose behind that post, because let's be honest, man. The world is full of people that get their feelings hurt all the time, over nothing, and it needs to be full of people that can talk like we're talking right now, and not get upset about it, I'm not taking anything away from a person that wins first place pork, first place brisket, first place, chicken or ribs at a world championship. I'm not taking it away from it at all. You accomplished something that most people can't accomplish. But you're a category champion. You're not a world champion.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the point of my post is you're not a world champion unless you GC at a world championship.
Yeah, let's go. We're working under the premise. We're not out to attack anybody right now. So we keep saying, hey, I'm not trying to do this and that.
Oh, I say it because people get so upset these days,
I understand, but I think everybody watching right now understands we're going to have different opinions on this deal. We're not out there attacking anybody for, saying whatever they. I think everybody has their credentials and people are going to either accept them or, agree with them or not. But to me, I feel like I mentioned earlier, I feel like the barbecue community that we're already in, we've all, not we, because obviously Chris Davis asked a question and had 194 comments on his post. Not everybody agrees, but I feel like, I don't know, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the barbecue community has accepted that. And I love that we're having a discussion about it. And I love what Eddie brought up about what constitutes a world championship, but we'll discuss that here in just a minute. But, we're not attacking anybody. It's just our conversations from here on out, and any comments that happen from the Gooder gang are not any ill will. I feel like so.
I think to elaborate on that too, Rob, I really think, to Oh, Wes, I love you, Wes.
I do too. He's hilarious.
I think to elaborate on that, though, I really think that the barbecue powers that be, and by powers that be, I mean the people that are heads of sanctioning bodies, need to come together and kind of form some kind of parameters, of what a world championship is. Do you need just one international team, or do you need 3, 4, 5? Does it have to be, across overseas somewhere, or can it be here? I mean, I think that they need to come together and really make a guideline to what it should be, because right now, man, I mean, it seems like, you can just call anything a world championship if you got one international team.
Yeah, that is pretty much
and
what can happen
for a state championship. You got to get a proclamation, right, from the state saying it's a fucking state championship. And we have 500 of those a weekend, which is fine, and I'm here for it. I mean, it's badass, right? But again, I mean, I think there should be some sort of criteria, like what makes it a world championship.
I agree 100%.
Who deems it a world championship? The promoter. So if I had a cook-off this weekend and just said, "Hey, world championship," is it going to be recognized as a world championship? Probably not.
Maybe so, though, Eddie.
I mean, and again, like Chris said, how many teams should be there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10. Like, what do you think? Because I know Rob thinks that San Antonio should be a world championship because there's international teams.
I do.
So
not only that,
like
that's one aspect of why I think so. Yeah.
I mean, that international teams makes it a world championship. That's the only reason, right?
That's not the only reason.
Kind of is.
As far as it's being as far as it can be tossed into the hat to be considered a world championship, yes, you need to have international teams,
right?
But that's not the only reason.
Rodeo has international. That should be. Austin Rodeo always has a team from Japan, a Mexico team. Is that a world championship?
It could be considered, yes.
Yeah, see, I think that's where the barbecue, like I said, the barbecue powers that be need to come together and make a decision, and say, hey, look, this is going to be our parameters for this, and this is how we're going to do this moving forward. Because, I mean, if you only need one international team, man, every damn cook-off in South Texas could be a damn world championship every weekend because we're so close to the border. You can pull a team across from Mexico to come cook, and it's a world championship.
And not to, no names, or not no names, but I'm about to say a name, and, not. So Eddy Medrano is a dual citizenship, right? He's a dual citizen from Mexico and United States. So every weekend that he cooks, if he just went under his Mexico citizenship or whatever, does that make every cook-off that he does a world championship?
Does he eat corn tortillas or flour tortillas?
That's an excellent question, Rob.
I mean, that should be the first question.
Right. So if he cooks as Team Mexico, is it a world championship?
I don't think one team constitutes a world championship. That's why, Chris made an excellent point. We need to, there should be a committee spread out across multiple sanctioning bodies that, this is kind of pipe dream scenario, but I do feel like there needs to be a committee that does it, because a lot of you mentioned it, Eddie, earlier, Eddie, a promoter can basically say, look, I'm going to have 1 or 2 teams here, and this is a world championship. We've seen it happen.
I was talking with someone the other day, and I'm not going to mention no names because I don't want to put that out there, but there are teams, coming to a cook-off that are from multiple countries, and if we're saying world championships have to be like that, have to have one team, then this cook-off coming up could be a world championship because there's teams from multiple countries, 4 to be exact, 4 different countries and possibly a 5th. So, I mean, will we consider that cook-off a world championship? I mean, I think it would help that cook-off grow, and this cook-off is for a great organization. So,
all right, Ty is going to be starring these comments. We'll read them here in just a minute. We got 6 starred right now, but what say you, Gooder Gang? What do you guys feel constitutes a world championship? How many teams do you necessarily need? I'll ask Eddy here in just a minute, because he mentioned, 1 or 2. Does that make it a world championship? Eddy's visa is about to expire. If we go to Canada and we're the international team,
I was going to say that. Yeah.
How many of us need to go into Canada to be considered a international event or a world championship? So what do you think, Eddy? How many does 2 do it for you? I don't think so.
Man, I don't know. I haven't really put much thought into it. Man, I'd say if I had to put a number, I don't know, 5, 4. I don't know. Houston has a fucking international village,
How many teams are in that village? You competed next to it, right?
Yeah,
6?
twice, 2 years in a row. No big
Brazil,
deal.
No big deal.
Canada, Japan, and the Netherlands. I think there was 5 last year. I may be wrong. I think
Did you
it was
count
5.
UK?
Well, I mean, I didn't count UK. Was UK there?
Yeah, I think so. Either last year or the year before.
Don't forget Eddy.
So I think there was about 6 or 7 international teams.
Madrano.
8. And there was so there was 8. So and there was also, I think, 6 or 7 at the San Antonio rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why Rob thinks that it should be a world championship. So
I think there should be at least 5. Is what I think.
Yeah, 5 is a pretty. I mean, 2 of them are our fucking neighbors. So
that also shows commitment to the prestige of that cook-off. That's the reason why people come to the Royal. They come to or they don't come. They get invited to the Jack, but they come to Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Because they're prestigious events. People want to be there. They want to cook them.
Now, I had a very established cook, great cook in the competition world. He's been in other, before he got into competition barbecue, he was in other venues where a grand champion or a world championship happened. And say you're at a contest, and so we'll take rodeo, for example, right? You can be a all-around grand champion, which means you've beat everybody. You're the grand champion in our world, right? The all-around grand champion is a grand champion of an event. You can also be a particular category grand champion, because they don't always compete, right? So it's a different deal. There's a barrel racing, there's bronco busting, there's bull riding, and each of those can be a world champion, and then the overall score is the overall grand champion. So each of them can claim a world championship. Kind of equates to what we're talking about right now, although we compete in all 4 or all 3 categories. We'll say it's a 3-meat contest. We compete in all 3 categories. That determines the grand champion. That's a little different because they are only competing in their specified event, right? Like the Olympics right now. They've got a specified, specialized events, and they can be the all-around, gold medalist. That's not how the rodeo works, Jen says. Tell me, enlighten us.
Well, the rodeo used to be you could only cook one rodeo by rodeo. I mean, Houston rodeo. It used to be. I don't know how long you've been doing it, Rob, but I mean, I've cooked Houston rodeo 7 times.
2 times.
It used to be, that you could only cook one category. They have one head cook per category. That's how it used to be. It's not like that anymore, but it used to be that way. And I think that Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo and Memphis in May is where all of this started at, because I mean,
I'm going to go kick the tires. Y'all continue this conversation. I'll be right back.
Here you go, Eddy. I love you, Eddy.
Love you, brother. But I see a lot of people asking, like, is it 5 countries that should be at the fucking cook-off, or should, or like we had 5 fucking teams from Mexico?
I say 5 countries is what I say. That's what makes it international, which makes, world is not America. It's not Canada. It's not Mexico. It's the world.
Right.
I mean, the world is a circle. It's a globe. There's all kinds of countries in this world, So I believe that everybody should come from different countries. What do you think, Ty?
Yeah, since you said that, I wanted to pop in real quick. So I was kind of making some notes. So After I changed my opinion, after you said what you said about the international, the different teams, I was thinking that you could call something if it has two or more teams from, like, if it's Mexico, still North America, Canada, still North America, that can be an international. But to have at least two continents as part of it could be a world. And then otherwise, like, I liked Wes Garrett's comment. All jokes aside, the GC winner of the Royal, Jack, Houston Livestock, and overall Memphis and May. Memphis and May is just different. I guess he's considered those category winners as champs. So do y'all consider Memphis and May like the fifth major?
I think Memphis and May is a little different because they do have individual category champions, and you could be the grand champion of, the fucking rib or the pork shoulder or the whole hog, but then they do an overall score. Whoever has the highest score wins the overall champion. So I think Memphis is a little different. And
I agree with Eddie. I think Memphis is different too, because Memphis and May it's a different animal. I've cooked Memphis and May, and it's a different beast, man. Like, it's totally different from any other competitions I've ever cooked.
So I think if you win ribs at Memphis and May, you are a rib champion.
Yeah, that's the sentiment I'm getting. People are saying that as well. Memphis and May is just a different one. And that's the one that also has the other event that's kind of attached to it, that's got the or is that the Royal, that's got the whole hog thing, so that Rob was a.
It consists of three categories. You have whole hog, whole shoulder, and ribs.
Right.
Is what they have.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
They have other categories too, but those are the three that you're buying for, to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
What'd I miss?
We were just talking about some criteria, so I thought I'm going to change my my opinion from earlier, Rob. So I'm more on the Chris Davis bandwagon now. So,
damn, Christian needs to be a politician. You got him to flop. You got him to flop so quickly, right there, Chris Davis. It's the hat. I promise you, it's the hat. He's a veteran. You got him. So I think, Eddie, you're in agreement with Chris as far as you got to win the whole damn contest to be considered a world champion.
Yeah, I think so.
So what do you think about the, like KCBS Invitational is now considered a world championship? How did that happen?
I don't know. It's in the name. And I don't know if it is or isn't. I don't know if there was any international teams. I don't think there was.
Yeah, but they consider it a world championship.
They do consider it a world championship.
Confirmed that it is considered a world champion. You win, and you can have a category winner in that. That's why I talked about earlier. I feel like our barbecue community has adopted that belief more so than what what we're talking about tonight with Eddie and Chris, that you got to win the GC to be a world champion.
I think Eddie agrees with me on that, because Eddie's a lot. The reason why me and Eddie are such good friends is because we're both, one, we're very outspoken, but we're also very humble, and I'm not, if I won a category at a world championship, which I have not, but if I ever did, I'm not going to go out and claim that I'm a world champion. Eddie won a category this year at a world championship, and you haven't heard him one time mention that he's a world champion, because he doesn't feel that he is.
Yep. And I mean, even after the event, I went out to eat with Bill and his wife and my wife, and he's like, well, shit, man, you're a world champion pork cook. And in my head, I'm like, I just won a category out of cook-off, which happened to be considered a world championship. But I never like Chris said, I never posted it. I mean, I posted that I won first place pork, but I never said, man, I'm a fucking world champion pork cook because I beat Wes Garrett's ass. You know what I mean? I didn't say any of that.
Get it right. It's Timu Phil.
Hey, we don't know who Timu Phil is. That is still a mystery. That was Phil. There he is, right there.
That wasn't part of my post. You know what I mean? So, I don't think. I mean, if you want to consider me a world champion pork cook, that's fine. But I'm not gonna go around saying, man, I'm a fucking world champion, because, man, I don't think I am. I haven't won a world championship.
Wes Garrett, all jokes aside, the GC winner of the Royal, the Jack, Houston, category winners and overall from Memphis. Memphis is just a different, and I've considered the category winners as champs at Memphis. Okay, so Wes is in agreement with you guys, it sounds like. You got to win a GC other than Memphis in May because you can only compete there. Robert Smith, I saw something that, and I got Jen's comment as well. I'll start that one. Robert Smith said Memphis in May is not an open competition because you sign up for Memphis and there is a committee that, I don't know so much that when they were at Tom Lee Park, I believe there was a committee, Wes, correct me if I'm wrong, that approved you to cook there, right? Not just because you signed up, just because you had the money, just because you had an entry fee doesn't guarantee you a spot at Memphis in May. Houston, text me and said retire. Houston Livestock and Rodeo is not an open, right? You, Chris Davis, you cook there, but you cook as a team. You cannot cook as Cross Rifles Barbecue. Eddie, you can't sign up tomorrow at Pitfather. Right. I can't sign up tomorrow at Bullhorn. So that is a closed competition. It's not an open competition.
So do you think that a world championship should be, man, you have to qualify for it or you have to get invited?
I don't know. They are the crown jewels. They've been around forever, and that's and so I don't know, that should be part of the committee's discussion as far as, is it, it's not like you and I can compete there.
Yeah.
And they're also, both those contests are also not sanctioned. Neither one.
And they're not sanctioned. Yeah. Memphis is not Memphis Barbecue Network or whatever they call it. Nope. It's its own animal. Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, we've talked about this many times on the show, is its own animal. Obviously, the KCBS Invitational, I feel that's an open event because you have all the other contests below it to get that invite are open. You win an event, you get the invitation. So the ones below that to compete at the KCBS, not KCBS Invitational, the American Royal Invitational, all those ones below that are open. They're available to anybody who wants to cook, right?
But the KCBS World Invitational is an open. Like anyone can come cook that. Now the Invitational is not.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a lot like the American Royal. Anybody can come cook it, but it's not. The Invitational part of it is not.
Yeah, but so you got 2 days. You got a 2-day cook. You got an Invitational and an open.
Yeah, the Jack is also not open.
Right.
It's not.
It's not.
You got to qualify for the Jack, and I think that's what helps the Jack out. In this topic of discussion is, the Jack Daniel's Invitational, it's truly the best of the best. I mean, of all the competitions in the world, I think the Jack Daniel's is, in my opinion, it's higher than
I don't know. You got a one team competition from Maine. I don't know. I'm just throwing a state out there that wins and they're invited. Is it the best of the best?
But let me ask you this, Rob. If you go and you GC a comp that was 17 teams and you win it, and it gives you points for team of the year, and you got somebody else that GCs a comp with 15 teams, gives them points for the year, does it make you or them any different from each other? No, you still got to go out there. You still have to cook. You still have to turn in good product. So whether you win a competition that's
but in that same flip side, I don't like, a team winning a 16-team contest one weekend and somebody that goes out and competes in a 76-team contest and they get almost the same points, right? They start out at, and I'll just talk about CBA. They both get 500 points to start. They get 516 versus 576. But a guy that finished, 11th overall, they get almost nothing, 175 points versus a team that finished second in a 50. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. I think my point is, you still got to go out there and you still got to win it. That's my point.
No, you do. And honestly, those smaller contests are tougher and there's less margin for error. Yeah, there's less margin for error there.
What about an 8-team cook-off in Alaska?
It didn't qualify for anything, so I don't know.
It does.
It does.
Does it really?
Yes.
It does.
And you're considered an international winner.
The guy who won that is going to the Jack
As an international team.
Okay, so that's what I was talking about earlier, Chris, about I don't feel that is the biggest competition field. Now you have teams that have qualified 7, so those guys are strong, right? You go there. I think it's top heavy, probably. I don't know. I've never been to the Jack, but I'm sure it's probably top heavy. You could probably name the winner if you saw the team list. You could probably pick the winner if you had 5 shots at it, right?
So I have a good friend. I have a good friend of mine. He became a friend of mine because of this show, Chris Schaefer. And Chris Schaefer, 2 years ago at the American Royal, Grant was there from QU. Grant won both days of the American Royal.
Amazing feat.
Amazing feat, And the topic of discussion came up, whether you would want to win the Jack or both days at the Royal. And Chris was like, I would want to win the Jack. Because the Jack, you're competing for the most part, Rob. You're competing against people who, like, in Ricky Bobby, like what's his name in Ricky Bobby? Jean Girard said, I came here to be beaten by somebody who's truly better than me. And I think at the Jack, that's what you're getting. You're getting to compete against people who are probably truly better than you are, whether someone wants to admit it or not. I think
those same people that compete at the Jack are also at the Royal.
They're at the Royal, yes.
And it's a bigger field. It's a wider field.
Which means more room for error too, though.
I don't know, but my point is those same people that are competing at the Jack are competing at the American Royal, probably Invitational and definitely at the Open.
They are.
So I don't know. That's another great question. Would you rather win back to back like Grant did at the Royal in 2022, or would you rather win the Jack? I think there's more prestige for winning the Jack.
I think so too, and I think that's what goes along with the World Championships. Is the prestige.
Man, I think
Wes Garrett.
I think there's more prestige in winning 7 state championships to get to the Jack already.
No, there is.
And you only need to win one 25-team cook-off to go to the Royal.
Wasn't it a year ago or 2 years ago? I know Bill won last year, but before that, wasn't there nobody that's 7?
From Texas?
From anywhere.
No, the year before that, I think there was a few people that 7 the year before that. That was the year that Brad won it.
Okay. Well, regardless, you may have 2. I think last year Bill was the only one, right? Bill was the only one.
Actually, no, 2 years ago was the year that Chris won it, Schaefer.
No, but what I'm saying is Bill was the only one last year that
he was
had
the only
7.
one last year that had 7. Yes, you're right.
So what Eddy was talking about, I'd rather, I was like, well, that's just one team in a field of 78 on average of teams, to whereas you go to the Open, those same teams that are at the Jack are definitely at the American Royal for the most part. Maybe you're missing a 1 or 2 or 3, maybe you're missing 5 to 10 teams, but you're also filling it up with 400 more. So
with in regards to this question and what the topic we're talking about, here's the thing for you. If you qualify for the American Royal, there's probably, I would say somewhere between 30 and 40% of the people that qualify for the American Royal don't go. If you qualify for the Jack, it doesn't matter how your funds look.
You're going.
What your schedule's like, you're going.
Yep.
So I think that's the reason why I put the Jack above the American Royal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think? Come on, say something.
And as far as the cook-off itself,
Eddy,
I think, I think winning the Jack is more prestigious than winning the Royal. Just for the simple fact that, I don't know. It's I can say the same thing about both. So, but I think getting to the Jack is definitely more prestigious as far as the winning 7, because you can get lucky and get a draw, right? But getting your 7 and auto win, man, that's fucking gangster.
To me, that is one of the hardest things you can do in barbecue.
Yeah,
is go a whole, full calendar year or seasonal year and get 7.
Yeah.
I think I saw Chicken Fried cook both. I would rather win the American Royal.
I can't argue with
Yeah,
Bill.
Yeah, I haven't won either one, so I don't know. I'll tell you when it happens. I'll let you know.
Would you rather be on stage getting a crown and a cape and a big ass trophy?
Man, watching the awards though for the Jack and being at the awards for the Royal. Well, forget what happened at the Royal, right? But I don't know, man. I think getting crowned as fucking king at the Royal is probably badass. I mean, Fred might know how that feels.
I definitely feel like winning that event is I get it. There's a lot of prestige for winning the Jack because it is a true invitational and it's one day. There's no open Jack competition, right? So it's just the invitational. And that's another thing. I feel like winning the invitational at the American Royal should have a lot more clout than it does. It's like you don't remember who won the invitational
who won
at the American Royal. You don't remember that because no one talks about it because it's just cool. Good job. The Open where everybody can compete is the big bad boy, right? So
everybody knows who won the Royal this year.
Yeah,
it wasn't Janky Leg until Tuesday, but yeah.
But who won the invitational?
I don't know.
See,
Chicken Fried. I think I remember who reserved. It was this older lady and her grandson or something.
Yeah, it was her grandson. Like I talked to that lady, man. She told me if I ever come to Oklahoma, she will make me dinner.
Oh yeah,
the course meal. Yes.
Oh
she was a cool ass grandma.
Yep. Wes Garrett, if you haven't won the Hog Wild in Brookhaven, Mississippi, you haven't lived yet. Yeah, so there should be. I agree with what we're talking about, but how does that happen? How do we set up a committee? You know, who is in charge of this thing? Fred Robles is in the comment. He's the president of CBA. That would probably be a good start.
I think the barbecue powers that be, the people who are the heads of sanctioning bodies should come together and somehow form a parameters, you know, what designates a world championship.
Yeah, I think maybe the presidents of the sanctioning bodies come together and they pick 5 people that are going to be fair and just and, you know, provide insight and do this and form a committee. And like Eddy mentioned earlier, is like if you're a state championship, you have to have a proclamation. If you want to be a world championship, we need to know why you are, you know, presenting your event to the committee to be a world championship. You know what we establish criteria, what continues, you know, what establishes that.
Yep, you got to get a proclamation from all the presidents and leaders of the world and fucking make it a world championship. So
we need to
get a letter from fucking Kim Jong-un and say,
and no open borders. Don't just let everybody be a world championship, right, Chris?
I agree with that 100% because you got all these people that just damn come in
and then
claim their world championship and it loots the prestige of it.
I mean, if we have open borders, anybody can be a world championship. I mean, because there's so many cooks. The World Championship Barbecue Council.
I agree, Roddy.
Established on the So Smoking Gooder Show. Yeah, so they're going to tell Houston they can't be a world anymore.
If you're going to be a world, bro,
you know, because you
got to have rules to follow
like Houston that are gonna debate that, you know.
Like Davis looks, they can be grandfathered in.
I say Houston should not be a world championship.
Oh, Eddy.
Sorry.
That's a big statement. Why? Why not?
You have rules and you don't fucking follow them. You let the cooks do whatever the fuck they want, and you fuck the people that did the rules and they followed the rules and did exactly what they were supposed to be doing. And you got people that didn't. Not trying to take anything. I'm not even sure who I'm talking about. But man, if you got fucking rules, you got to stick to them rules, man. If you got a window to turn in, you got to stick to that fucking window. And if you're late, man, you're late.
I agree with Eddie there because every ambassador at Houston, and I've had multiple ambassadors at Houston, every single ambassador has a different interpretation of the rules.
Yes.
And their interpretation of the rules can affect your cook.
Absolutely.
I mean,
what's allowed for one is not allowed for the other.
Yeah. So the first year that I cooked and on Champions Row, the ambassador, you know, I asked her a question and she said, no, you can't do that. It's in the rules. And I went and read the rules, and I had already read the rules, you know, multiple times. And nowhere does it say that you can't dust or au jus your slices on your brisket. It talks about sauce, and it talks about how you can, you know, you have to set the sauce, you have to cook it on whatever. And that's fine because most people do that. But it didn't say anything about dust. And she's like, no, you can't. I got to go ask somebody about. I'm like, man, it's not in the rules. And I pulled up the rules, and she's like, well, yeah, I still got to ask. I'm like, why the fuck do you have to ask if I have the rules right here? Like, let's read them. And nowhere did it say that. And she came back and said, yeah, you can. Like, I know I can. And I was going to anyways because, man, it doesn't say you can't. And then, man, the Houston winner from the year before that, this was this past year or this year, man, he's going into everybody's fucking timeline. And he's pushing. I mean, he's taking advantage of that. And me and Bill are last. And we're like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I'm already in my time, and I can't even do anything to my shit because the ambassador is not here. My ribs are sitting here on the counter getting cold. This motherfucker's still taking his time. Like, oh, I need, 5 more minutes. I'm not ready yet. Like, nah, bro, your turn-ins are from 11:45 to whatever. Let's say 12:15 or whatever it is. And your box better be in there by 12:15 or not. You're fucking disqualified.
Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is the world's largest backyard competition with 15 cooks that can win it every single year. And those 15 cooks, a lot of times, don't get the shake they should. So
it's more like 115 cooks out of 200, I feel. It's definitely the competition. You don't realize how many, comp cooks are in the back, right? You see a bunch of, party teams out there, but there's also that one guy that's not partying. He's getting ready for Saturday. And a lot of the teams now, it used to be like that, Chris. I feel like that, but now it's probably 100 teams out there out of 230 that have a shot to win this thing or at least taking it seriously. Obviously, we know any given Saturday, the way it works. And we're just talking about, it's not
anybody can
completely sanctioned. So it's different.
For example, another example, Josh Hale, he had his ambassador right there next to him, watching him slice box his brisket. And I guess, I don't know if he cut him too thick or whatever, but man, he started fanning him down and he couldn't get that 10 slice in there. And the ambassador is like, man, it's all right. You can just turn in 9. I'll walk it up there with you and they'll take it. And Josh is like, no, the fucking rule said 10 slices. I'm putting 10 fucking slices in there. And he put 10 slices in, he got second. So maybe he should have put 9.
He was very heated about that too.
Yeah.
As he should,
and that's considered a world championship. I mean, I'd say it ain't.
To answer Bill's question there, Rob, the head cook was Tim Milligan.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
I thought it was Tony.
I wasn't saying that. Hey, and no, it doesn't matter. If Tim would have put an extra slice in there, he probably still wins. I mean, I don't think it affects the flavor or affects the taste.
No,
it's just another option.
So
I'm not taking anything away from Tim. And Tim's going to the jack, and it rightfully so. It was judged. It went through the process, and he wound up being the winner. So, I don't think he was. I don't know what that was, but But no
matter who it is, at the end of the day, man, and let's say IBCA, you got to turn in 8 slices. If you turn in 7, you're gonna get DQ'd. Hell, even in fucking Lone Star, if you turn in 1 slice less, you're gonna get DQ'd. So you're telling me Lone Star follows the rules more than fucking Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo? Come on.
I don't know about all that.
Well, they'll DQ you if you ain't got your 9 slices.
They'll let you turn in if you're not on time, though. Just saying.
They let you turn in. Yeah. No, yeah.
I don't know. This has been some really good discussion, and we're going to continue this on the other side. But I want to do some. I want to give some love to the people that won this past weekend, and some acknowledgement to the event coming up here in just a moment. You guys, Eddie needs a drink.
Hey, Eddie, it wasn't empty, Eddie.
I know there was a little fucking drop.
I know that was cheating. That's Eddie's non-sanctioning drinking. He's drinking non-sanctioned tonight, because that would have been a foul, Eddie. If this were a sanctioned show. Chris Davis, go pee. Go do what you need to do. Get another drink. Are you drinking tonight? I mean, you have to be. You're wearing a hat.
I got a margarita in here.
There it is. I
want to say something before you do this, too. Hey,
absolutely. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Hey, Jen Lee, in case you're wondering, this is who's going to win the national championship this year.
Oh, I did see her roll tide earlier tonight. All right. Well, Ty's going to play some music. I'm going to do the bull printing wraps and graphics wrap-up recap, the upcoming event segment. We got a quick ChickN Bark, and then we'll come right back with Eddie and Chris, and we'll have some more great discussion on this. It's been a really great discussion on, what constitutes a world championship. I don't think we've come up with anything concrete. Everybody has their own opinions, but I do feel like we need to do a committee. Jen is flipping Chris Davis off. Not me. I think that's going to Chris Davis. All right, Ty, let me do it. You got the music going. I will present the next couple slides. And we're going to go with the bull printing wraps and graphics wrap-up recap. Over in the IBCA, there was nothing in CBA last weekend. We got a couple this weekend. Last weekend, we had nothing going on. IBCA, the Schulenburg Festival. There were 70 plus teams out there in Schulenburg. Great turnout for the IBCA. The grand champion, this guy just continues to do it. Todd, you got his video pulled up? Let's if you do, let's give some love to.
I'm Ira Green from Kingsbury, Texas, with Flying G BBQ. You're watching live on the Smoking Gooder Show. So Smoking Gooder Show. I fucked that all up. Ira Green with Flying G BBQ from Kingsbury, Texas, watching live. Ira Green with Flying G BBQ from Kingsbury, Texas, and you're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show.
I hear that voice in my sleep, Mr. Ira Green from Kingsbury, Texas. Congratulations, my man. He hit 7 last year to get autoed to the jack, and he's already got 1 under his belt in the first competition I believe he's cooked this year. Good job, Ira. All right, RGC, Justin Fortune from On Point Barbecue. Congratulations. There we go. Next up, we've got the Nothing in Outlaw. We've got pew, 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 pew. There it is. And Lone Star, sorry. Anybody knows who won Hamilton Band Booster Barbecue? If you do, put it in there, because when I looked it up, they didn't have it posted yet. So if you know who won in Hamilton Band Booster Cook-Off, put it in the comments, and we will give them a shout-out. In KCBS, we had the All-American Barbecue Throwdown Grand Champion, Jankin Leg. Got another one already. Number 1. I don't know what he's got. Yeah, number 1 already going into 2025. RGC was Bad Habit of Barbecue. That's going to be the Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics Wrap-Up Recap, sponsored by Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics. All right, we're going to do the upcoming event segment. The Briscoe Ranch at the Crossroads at the Cook-Off at the Crossroads, excuse me. Got too much going on right here. Let's pull it up right now. Upcoming event segment. The Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, December 13th and 14th, Uvalde, Texas. We talked about it earlier. Great event. Wade Carpenter and crew, the 2-time CBA event of the year. All right, upcoming event segment this weekend. Champions Barbecue Alliance. We got the biggest little town in Texas. Barbecue Cook-Off in Garrison, Texas. That is a state championship. And we got the Summer Under the Stars in Poteet, Texas. I think Eddie said he was going there. That is also a state Championship. IBCA has their annual members meeting. So they got no cook-offs this weekend, but they got their annual members event this weekend. KCBS, there's nothing Outlaw, nothing in Lone Star. So we're going straight to KCBS. We got the Beat the Heat Barbecue and Brews in Alamosa, Colorado. That is also a state championship. And we got Smoke on the Bricks in Baldwin City, Kansas state championship. And that is going to wrap up those events. Ty, did you want to say something? I'm sorry. I thought you did.
No, I was about to tell you my internet was going out, but I think it's...
He thinks it's back, and he's gone. All right. We got one file from the ChickN Bark. It's going to be very quick, and then we'll get Mr. Chris Davis and our co-host of the evening, Mr. Eddy Morales, back in. Let's do it right now. Video file. Here we go. Quick and dirty.
Pleasure of yours.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why? That shouldn't be a guilty pleasure?
Corn.
Okay, yeah, that should be.
No,
all right, that's fair.
Corn, I said corn.
All right. Cheating in barbecue. In barbecue.
I love watching the 90 Day Fiance, those sucky ass TV shows, man.
My guilty pleasure? Drinking too much and taking my clothes off.
Tamarindo sour candy.
How many times a week?
As many as I can.
Cooking for people, bro. There's nothing better. Nothing better.
A good bottle of wine?
Gambling.
Gizzards.
Coffee.
McDonald's French fries.
Do you supersize it?
Yes.
Yeah, eating cookies.
What kind of cookies?
Oreos.
Did the Girl Scouts get you this year?
Yes. Mint.
I like my armpits being rubbed.
Explain.
You just put your arm out there and she just rubs up and down like that, man. That shit gets me rocking.
Who likes their armpits rubbed? I mean, apparently Derek does from Heavy's Barbecue. What about you, Eddy? You like your armpits rubbed?
Nah, bro.
You got
That's
hair
not
under there? Or are
me.
you shaving? Are you shaving the armpits?
I got hair, bro.
All right.
A little bit, but I got hair.
All right. Just you don't got no hair on your lip, bro.
Nah.
Does it not grow there?
It grows just a little stupid. So, well, my whole fucking beard grows stupid, but yeah, what can I do?
I think it looks all right. It's nothing like Chris Davis's beard, though. Let's bring him on, Ty. Chris Davis got a classic. He's got a classic beard. All right. 54 out of 70 or 8 stayed with him. Whoever left, whoever stayed, thank you very much. Whoever left, let's give him again. There you go. If you left, that's for you. Maybe you'll come back. We'll see.
Bro, we need to send Derek to some kind of counseling or something, bro. Like, no one likes their fucking armpits rubbed, dude.
I don't know. Your guilty pleasure was McDonald's French fries. I like those too, though.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Best French fries in the world.
Did you know? There's a fat boy comment right here. Did you know you can order like a basket of fries from there, right? And it's like $10, and it's a big ass basket. Did you know that, Chris?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah. There you go. Fellow fat boy.
Did you also know there is a seasoning out there that is spot on with McDonald's French fries?
No. What is it?
Salt.
Myron, I'll get it for you. I got it in my cabinet. Hang on.
Oh, shit. He's going to go find us the equivalent to McDonald's seasonings. John Turner, and I cut my own fry and then what? I cut my own fry and fry them in tallow. Way better. All right. We'll have to be the judge of that, John Turner. Myron mixing chickens. It even has French fries on it. Did you burp? What was that?
I don't know.
It wasn't me.
Was that you, Eddy?
Yeah, I was trying to fucking not burp.
Hey, there's a mute button for a reason, Eddy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
At least I'm not pissing with my fucking headphones on. All right.
All right. I promised that we can read some comments from the Gooder Gang, and we're going to do that right now. Stephen Pfeiffer wants to know, when was the last time you shaved the beard, Chris Davis?
It's been a long time since I shaved it, but in 2021, it was probably around May or so. I lost about probably about 6 inches off of it. I was burning out a drum, and it caught fire.
You literally lost 6 inches from a dude. You had to be panicking.
No, so I was sitting there like
No.
I'm cleaning out the drum. I just pressure washed it and everything, and I got my torch in there. My torch is going. Sometimes a torch will spit when your regulator's going out.
Yes.
Had a little bitty flame like that big in the top, and it was spitting gas out. When I rolled it, it come up and poof. And I'm sitting there like I jumped back and I was like, "What's that smell? Oh shit!" Had to put it out.
Damn, that's pretty good. I mean, 6
Yeah.
inches. All right.
To answer your question, Steven, I haven't shaved it, but I have burned it off.
Brian Fox, since he wants to do KCBS, will he chase the state auto KCBSs? I mean, yeah, why not?
There's a few on the calendar. There is a few on the calendar, but I'm not going to chase every single one of them, though.
That's how many are there on the calendar?
State autos that I'm looking at?
No,
I'm
just that you know of.
Oh, there's a good bit of them on the calendar, but I mean they're not all actually autos. I'm going to chase a few autos, but I'm also going to chase some, where there's 2 contests in one state. And if you win one, you got a 50% chance. You win both of them, you're in. Are you going to win every competition? No, you're not going to win every competition. But I believe everybody has a win percentage.
Eddie, you can read the next comment Ty is going to put up there.
He's a fucking war vet, bro. He's not going to panic over the small stuff.
I like the inflection. That's not the one I thought Ty was going to put up, but
that was the best one.
You're going from the bottom up, Ty. Are you a better Super Bowl champion if you got in the playoffs as a wild card team or the first seed overall? I don't think it matters. It does not matter. If you go through the gauntlet.
It matters neither, but your road is a little harder, like your competition getting there was a little tougher.
Well, let's see. The Super Bowl 40 Pittsburgh Steelers were a 6th seed. Now they have 8 seeds, but they were a 6th seed. And why is that? Why is that in my head? Stop it. I need to remove that and put actual information in my brain. But I do know this. The Super Bowl 40 champion Pittsburgh Steelers were a wild card 6th seed, and they wound up winning the Super Bowl. So are they considered a Super Bowl champion or a 6th seed wild card team?
The New England Patriots were down 28-3 in the fourth quarter, and they won it.
Yeah, but I think they were a number 1 seed, by the way. But no one knows except for my dumbass that they were a 6th seed. But they are a Super Bowl champion. All right. We'll take that one down. Eddie,
Speaking of Super Bowls, Rob, before you say anything else, man, I really think that your Texans have a shot this year, man.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that right now.
You don't.
I don't want to get too high. Eddie knows we don't want to get too high, but they look good. They do.
On paper,
they're strong. All right, Ty, put that. There you go. Eddie, read that one.
That's too long, bro.
That's why I wanted you to read it.
Jesus Christ. Let's see. Should be sanctioned an international, invitational, and or have to qualify to compete in it. Equals automatic world champ. Other than that, needs at least 3 international teams from different countries. Why 3? We border 2 countries, so 3 makes sense to me, in my opinion.
I vote Cesar Mejia for the fucking chairman of the fucking board for that.
I think Caesar's a lawyer, by the way, as well.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, should be sanctioned. I don't know if he
definitely should be sanctioned. I think.
I don't think if he wanted me to say that. I'm sorry, Caesar. Should be sanctioned an international invitational and or I'm just reading this so I can understand it.
He left out some commas, so it's kind of
should be sanctioned, comma. An international invitational and or have to qualify to compete in it equals automatic. Okay.
I think you should have to be invited or qualify for it. I agree with that.
They should have some at-larges. This is part of the committee talk right now. We're doing some committee talk right now.
The Royal, all you got to do is win one GC. The KCBS Invitational, all you got to do is win one GC or even a reserve, I think. So
hell, even the Royal right now, you get like a 2-year window, which is terrible.
So to make, I mean,
Cut that
if you
shit
want to
out,
make
Royal,
the
please.
CBA world, you know, you can make it an Invitational. It's fucking GC and RGC.
What do you guys think about that? In COVID, they had like a 3-year window, and then they narrowed it down to 2.
I think it should just be 1.
I think it's still a 2-year window.
It's still 2 right now, but
it should only be 1. I mean, COVID was 4 years ago.
CB.
Let's get rid of that. What's
I
up,
never heard
CB?
of her. Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. Yes, you have. All right.
About COVID.
Little Gringo's in the comments. He's a criminal defense. I just said, Lord, he's like, he's zeroing down right there. States with autos. Chris, I'll let you do your American history with
Allen, Alaska, Idaho, North Dakota, Delaware, and New York. New York actually has 2, I believe.
Wait. Say it again. Say it again. What?
Vermont, Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Alaska, Idaho, North Dakota, Delaware, New York.
Damn. You're on the committee, bro.
I am fairly certain that New York has 2. I want to say one of them's in Schenectady and one of them is in Lake Placid.
How can they have 2 autos?
No, they have 2 competitions. So
okay. All right. There you go.
I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. But
not wearing that hat. All right, just for some food for thought. How about you get to the Jack? What? I'm sorry. Just some food for thought.
I thought he was asking how do you prepare yourself throughout the season to get to the Jack or the Royal is how I perceive that question.
Same process. Right?
You go out there and you cook every weekend, Brandon.
Yeah,
you do the best you can.
Yeah,
you know,
same process.
Yeah, keep your fucking hair out of your boxes.
Could have had one already.
Could have had one, bro. You could have gone Royal next year.
Could have been to the Jack this year. You never know. You never know. Chris, are you a Pats fan?
I am.
Sorry.
I am. I'm a Patriots fan.
You guys suck this year. Another Fred Robles comment. President of the CBA. I think whatever contest we want to call a world champ. All right, here we go. He's being serious here. I think whatever contest we want to call a world championship should be a world championship. We are the world. We are the children. Is this a song now? The U.S. is barbecue. Everyone else is trying to catch it.
Is that Michael Jackson?
I was thinking, we are the world. We are the children. That's what I thought was going there. I thought it was okay. He's saying we're the leaders, right? We push the narrative, not narrative. I hate saying that. I've been listening to too much political shit. We push the boundaries of barbecue right now. I feel like it was what he's trying to say. Eddie's wearing the hairnet again. Definitely not a lawyer, but if Blowing Smoke Law Firm hires me, I'll change careers. Okay. So let's get back real quick before we advance on to the rate my boxes. Chris, are you down for some rate my boxes? I know Eddie is. Eddie's always down to rate some boxes. All right, before we forward on to that, are we done talking about this? I mean, I feel like none of us changed our opinions. This is like politics. We expressed our opinions, but if you're Eddie, Ty, you're chiming in. What you thinking about?
Yeah, I absolutely think that there's something to this. The biggest thing I think there's to it is like Chris and Eddie touched on a lot of these competitions: the Royal, Memphis in May, the Jack, Houston, and then everybody seems to say that San Antonio is the best. And I don't know if that's sarcasm because of the Tuesday Grand Champion or what, but I mean, there's got to be something in this with the all the presidents of the sanctioning bodies talking to the legislative bodies and something about St. Louis, Memphis, Texas should all be state championships, and then this has got my mind going. We need to make this shit happen.
I love Jen's comment right there. Clear.
Yeah,
as
I mean,
mud.
well, we're
Clear as mud.
spitballing right now, Jen. I mean, we just started talking about it 4 hours ago. I mean, we're only 4 hours in.
No, we're not.
We'll figure this shit out real quick.
We're an hour and 50 minutes in. But
I love the conversation.
A topic that should be discussed, amongst the barbecue powers that be.
Fred Robles, you are the president of CBA. I think we should call you to attention to maybe present this to the other presidents, because so many events are coming along, and I feel like it's the Wild West right now. Everybody can call themselves a world championship, and there's no body that can say otherwise. Okay, you have an international team, you have one, you have two, maybe three. You're a world championship. I mean, is it end all be all? You're a world champion if you win that event, and you're a world champion category guy if you win that event. A Gooder Gang has really not chimed in. Are you team Eddie and Chris, meaning you have to win a grand championship to be a world champion? Or are you, there's some really big time cooks out there that claim multiple world championships by winning a grand champion and B, a category grand champion or category champion at a world championship. I am on the second part of that. I feel like you are also a world champion. You can consider yourself a world champion category cook, but that's just me. Nobody has said really much anything, but we'll continue on. But I would love to hear from the Gooder Gang what you guys think. Is it only a world championship at a world champion? Only a grand championship at a world championship? There's Fred Robles. Yes. Well, he is also a world champion at a grand championship.
So for Fred, right? So he won first place brisket, and he's won the GC, right? At the Royal. So is he a two-time world champion?
Say that again.
I can't say nothing bad about Fred because
no, absolutely not. No.
When Fred won his world championship, I cried for him, man, at the Royal.
No. I'm just saying, is he considered a two-time world champion in your opinion, Rob?
I didn't hear what your first part of that question. Sorry.
He got first place brisket at the Royal, and he's won the Royal, right? So is he a two-time world champion?
Yes.
Fred, do you think you're a two-time world champion, sir?
Fred said no already.
President of the barbecue.
Yeah, I already said no. I mean, he's already said yes. World championship equals grand champion. No,
I know what he said. I'm just asking him if he considers himself a two-time, or I don't know how many times he's won a world championship. But
well, technically, he won brisket. A few years before that. I want to say it was like maybe 2017. I want to say. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know it was him and Ernest and Carlo and maybe one other person there, maybe even Roddy, but they won brisket that year. I remember that. Was that 2017, Rob? Do you remember?
Is it in that area? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting some comments here. Chicken Fried, is the winner of the NBA Finals a world champion?
Not necessarily, Bill, because NBA is NBA. Do they have players from other nations? Yes, they are. Yes, they do. But
the Raptors
there's only
are from Toronto.
A couple of teams from Canada. There's no teams from Australia. There's no teams from Mexico. There's no teams from Japan. An Olympic champion, yes, you're a world champion because you beat teams from all over the world.
The lesser teams.
So
maybe the lesser teams, but
the World Series champion, they only have to beat the Blue Jays. A 15-year-old that is a legit reserve world champion in Houston and then got a reserve in Cook's Choice is a what? No, not a reserve. Sorry. It's a discussion. We need a committee. I love that. So we need an Olympic cook-off.
Yeah, Olympic cook-off.
Tony. We need Tony at a cook-off. He's Canadian. Is the World Series a World Series? I mean,
And see what Fred's saying right there, I do agree with,
And that's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying.
Like you can say, I'm a world champion brisket. I'm a world champion pork, world champion chicken. But my problem is people that have those, they have those wins, they're saying, oh, I'm a 4-time, 6-time, 8-time, 12-time world champion. No, you're not. You are a category champion, yes, but you are not a world champion. In order to be a world champion, you have to win the contest. That's my that's my opinion on it,
No, what Fred said is true. I love this comment by Jen, but category champ can call themselves a world you just said it. I'm saying the exact same thing you said. Yes. But I do see your point. Are you a 7-time world champion, or are you a 2-time world champion and a 5-time brisket cook, or whatever that may be?
There was a comment in my post, and it was from Darren Worth. Darren has 5 world championships, and I want to say he had 10 total category champions, and that's how he proclaims himself as that, and Darren Worth is one of the greatest of all time.
What does he proclaim? I didn't read it that deep.
I want to say, I could be wrong. I'm just spitting off the top of my head from what I remember, but I want to say it was a 5-time world champion. And then I think there was 10 total category champions, something like that. I'd have to go back and look at it, But, I mean, Darren's one of the greatest cooks to ever cook barbecue, and there's a lot of people watching this show. I don't know if you two are those people, but Darren, he's
Darren's been on the show. You may be watching.
He's at the very top, I mean, he's a little before my time in barbecue, but I still respect him and what he's done in barbecue and what he still does for barbecue,
This has been a great discussion. I feel like we've gotten nowhere on this topic, which is what's going to happen, because Ty, your camera is awesome, by the way. Which is what's going to happen, because people are, I don't know. Maybe we've turned to Ty was turned today. He was he earlier he said, hey, after listening to Chris, there's just Eddie, I'll let you go here. There's just so much to take in here. A lot of discussion here, a lot of beliefs that has been established in our community of barbecue world. What did Jen say earlier? I think that was funny as shit. That she said something about breakdancing. If breakdancing is an Olympic sport, then let's make barbecue one. I'd love to be a world champion in barbecue at the Olympics. That'd be cool. I'd be clicking my tongs all day long. Let's go. Wearing my New Balance, and let's go.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just one of those things that, man, you're never going to come to an agreement with anyone. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 people, but not everybody's going to agree, so.
And I think that's the purpose of opinionated shows, whether it be here or on TV.
Man, if you want to call yourself a 13-time world champion, that's fine. I mean, if that's what you want to, I ain't nobody to tell you you're not, or that you're wrong, but I mean, you're kind of not.
Rob, I wanted to say one thing here real quick. The attention to detail that I think that I've talked about on the show for a long time, and Chris has definitely talked about tonight, that come from our, long military stuff.
Correct.
It's this is exactly what Darren Worth said. I have no problem with either way, as long as you clarify. I usually tell people I have 5 overall world championships and 10 category world championships. And I think with like, if you categorize it like that, that's what made me like say Chris, whereas before I said, yeah, you should be able to call yourself a 15-time world champion. But I do think it should be broken down into overall category. And when you start getting into all these sanctioning bodies and all the different places that do it, Texas barbecue is obviously the best, but then I guess, St. Louis and Memphis is right behind them, so there's something to be said for those grandfathered in cooks. It's going to be like the Rose Bowl, but I'm ready for there to be a council now. This is going to be fun.
Ty, how do you think we establish a council?
Just like what Chris said, the presidents of the body need to go to their legislative committees in each of their states, the presidents of each of these states sanctioning bodies. Then those sanctioning bodies form a council. Lawyers will have to get involved, but grandfathering in, yeah, absolutely. But grandfathering in all these big cooks to call them world championships and to set levels to everything, and to make sure that all Texas cooks are state championships, because Texas barbecue is literally famous worldwide, just like St. Louis barbecue is, and Memphis barbecue is famous worldwide. So they should automatically be state championships in Texas, I think, as long as you have a certain amount of teams. But I love the fact that the elected officials are getting involved with Texas barbecue specifically, with all the sanctioning bodies, because the personalities, the people that are going out and doing this every week, this is what America is, man. This is what rural America is. You get into the urban areas and there's a different mindset, like New York, Chicago, LA, downtown Houston. There's different ways of thinking there. But when you get to the rural areas in most of America, people just want to be together. And what do most people do? They have cook-offs and cookouts, and that's Texas barbecue, man. This discussion tonight, it may have seemed different from the normal So Smoking Gooder show. This is a great discussion to have, because getting all this stuff set up is going to be great for the future of Texas barbecue and Texas pitmasters and pitmasters in general.
I think Texas should definitely be represented on the world barbecue stage. And the reason being is this right here. You have restaurants that open all over the country, you have restaurants in Oregon, California, St. Louis, North Carolina, everywhere, they say Texas style barbecue. Mm-hmm. You don't have restaurants in St. Louis or in Texas, or in Louisiana or in Mississippi saying St. Louis style barbecue. You just don't have it. And there's a reason for that. I'm not saying that Texas is a know-all be-all of barbecue, but we're pretty damn close. And I'm not from Texas. I'm from Louisiana. So that's just my thoughts on that.
No, I agree 100% with that. And you got all kinds of people from all over the United States that make rubs and shit, and it's like Texas style rub or Texas style blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, I agree. I think that dude Man Meat has a Texas style rub for some reason, but it don't taste like Texas to me.
A lot of people do. All right.
Hey, Wes, what am I supposed to do with this thing here?
Your beers from heaven. What is that?
First place port, 6th annual KCBS World Invitation Championship. Open.
I don't know. Wes, what do I do with this, bro?
Wes said you put it right next to his Jack Daniels banner.
So that's another one. I guess we'll table that, but I don't know. How many international teams were there?
None.
But they consider that a world championship.
Dude, I agree with you. I mean, I don't consider myself a world champion pork cook. I just cooked against people from the United States.
That does look like a giant
and
cheese
somebody
bread.
from Mississippi or wherever the hell he's from.
That's Wes. That's Wes. All right. We are going to give out some sevens here in just a minute. But
first,
Chris, have we done the Mount Rushmore with you? When's the last time you've been on the show?
I don't remember the last time I was on the show, man, to be honest with you.
Well, then we did not do. A lot of beers have happened since then. So Ty, there it is. Ty's ready. Producer Ty's on it. Chris, you've seen the show. We do Mount Rushmore. You can put the people on who inspired you, helped you along the way, whatever it may be, people that you want to put on your barbecue, Mount Rushmore, and you got one in the gift shop.
Number one on my Mount Rushmore barbecue would be Ernest Cervantes. He taught me a ton about barbecue, and he also taught me how to get out of my own head. Number two would be Brad Leininger. Number three would be Chris Schaefer. And number four would be Mark Lambert. And in my gift shop would be my buddy Phil Breeden, because Phil Breeden has helped me a lot along the way. So I would say that's my Mount Rushmore barbecue.
If I'm not mistaken, man, I think that's what it was last time you were on the show. Pretty sure. And that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, there's some of those names that I hear all the time, but then I know Brad Leininger was on it last time, so I think that was the same.
Yeah.
Man, I personally believe Brad Leininger, like I said earlier, I have a lot of respect for Darren Worth, and what he's done and everything, but he's a little before my time. Brad Leininger, to me, is the GOAT of barbecue. He's the greatest there is. I mean, the man can go out any weekend and beat anybody. I mean, and I equate that, like my buddy Chris Schaefer said, I mean, it's, if you had to pick one person to go win a contest, who's it going to be? I'm going to choose Brad Leininger because, I mean, he's probably going to go out there and win that competition for you.
Yeah, that's a bad motherfucker right there.
He is.
Fucking gangster. Where did Rob go? Did he just take a break during fucking Mount Rushmore?
Tires, bro.
That's a badass list, man. And
he's looking at the Houston Texans schedule this year and praying that we're all talking them up and everything.
I'm good. Ernest Cervantes, Brad Leininger, Chris Schaefer, and Phil Breeden. Awesome.
Nope.
No, you missed
Ernest
one.
Cervantes, Brad Leininger, Chris Schaefer, Mark Lambert, and Phil Breeden is on my.
Oh, Mark. Yes, Mark Lambert.
Phil Breeden is
Phil Breeden's being sketched on the outside right now.
He's gonna whoop your ass later, by the way. All right, let's go.
Barbecue homie time.
Barbecue homie.
Barbecue homie. My barbecue homie is on this fucking show with me right now, bro. Eddie Morales, Eddie Morales. Me and Eddie fucking ever since we fucking met, dude, we've been been real tight. We talk, probably 4, 5, 6 times a week, at least for an hour, so Eddie's definitely my barbecue homie. And in the gumball machine is my buddy fucking Phil Breeden as well. So
fuck yeah.
You got to fight Josh Hale for that barbecue homie spot there.
Josh is good with it. He's all right. Josh understands Marines come before Army, bro.
Yeah, that's between y'all. I'll stay out of that one.
Chris Davis had his list already. I was like, that's the quickest. I came back and you're already doing barbecue homies. I was like, holy shit. Okay, let's go. Yeah. He had it down. Name.
I met Chris Davis at Clarence Joseph's class, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next weekend or 2 weekends later, we go to a fucking cook-off and we're both there. Like I said, I barely met him and I'm in my trailer prepping, whatever. And my fucking door swings wide open and Chris just walks in with the fucking beer, hands me a beer, and he just starts talking. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, he ain't gonna fucking knock, bro. Like, what the fuck? And man, ever since then, we just hit it off. That's my boy. Like you said, yeah, we talk all the time and talk shit. Fuck you, Chris, and that's it. The rest was history.
At cook-offs, I wish everybody good luck, and I tell Eddie, "Fuck you, Eddie."
But he walked into my trailer, and I was like, "This motherfucker right here."
Josh Hale's in the comments. Of course, he's ready for some rate my boxes. Chris, you've seen the rate my boxes. You've seen what we do here on the show. I feel like you're going to be fair and just, impartial. What do you think? How you feel?
I'll be fair and just. Impartial, that's not in my vocabulary, really.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
So Rob, real quick. So you don't know the thing about the crowns. So basically, the joke is that Marines eat crowns. So I know you keep seeing the comments.
I have.
You seeing the comments, and you don't know what the hell it means, do you?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's how we all play with each other between the services. But we'll never let anybody talk about any of us. So
what do you guys? All right. Marines eat crowns. Here we go. I did like that, by the way. I was wondering what the hell that was. I saw crayons earlier today. Chris, we do poker faces. Poker faces.
Yeah, you gotta wait your turn, bro.
Wait your turn. I'll let you go first, but poker face.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll do a poker face next time. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't say nothing bad about this.
Well, yeah, we didn't see. Just chill. You're good,
bro.
You're good. You're good.
I can't say nothing bad about this chicken, man. So
It's not your turn yet.
Let's sling some sevens, says Josh Hale in the house. All right, 10, Little Gringo. 10, Brandon Perriman. 9, Rozicki. ZZ Top Fan with a big 10. That is a nice bird. 10, Bass Bowden. Okay, maybe. 10, 9, 10. A lot of 10s. Rini Gonzalez in the house. JJ Daly doing well right now. Congratulations, JJ. Anthony Katea. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you, my man. Stacy Hale with a 10. Peter winning the big El Paso event of this weekend. Congratulations, Peter. I should have put that on the event there. Daddy Dutch with a 9. Jen Lee 10. Eddie 10. All right. Chris Davis, you're up, my man.
I give it a 10. That's a pretty good looking bird, man. I can't say nothing bad about that bird. The only thing I could say is like maybe on the leg, you can tell like where they touched it with their hand or their thumb or something, rub off. But other than that, man, like I'd give that bird a 10, dude.
Eddie?
I hate to do it. But man, I'm gonna give it a 10, bro. I hope it's not Brandon's, but it's a 10.
I thought you were gonna do something different.
Nah, bro. I mean, it's a great looking bird.
Hard to fault it. 10 for me. Wes Garrett with a 10. All right, next one, producer Ty. Poker face.
I think that was my first 10 for Brian Fox.
Oh, that was Eddie's. I mean, that was Brian's 10. I feel like this pork on the left side is doing some "What's up, brother?" What do you think, Eddie? What's up, brother?
Yeah, I see it now.
All right, here we go. 10, Caesar. 10. Oh, that was a chicken. 7, Reenie. 7s are personal, Reenie. Wes Garrett with a big 10. Surge with an 8. These are all over the place right now. Jen Lee with an 8. 9. Turn those monies. Wait, 9. Turn those monies in the box. Yeah, kind of flip them over. Is that what you're saying? All right, 10, 8, 8, 9, 9, 8, 9. I'll go first here. I do like the fact that it's saying, "What's up, brother?" on the right-hand side. I'm going to go 9. This is not offensive to me at all. I just don't know what's going on the right side. And if we're talking only about appearance, I like the monies. I don't need the right side over there at 9. Chris.
And I'm not a fan of, seeing. I wish I could point it out on the screen right now, but I can see like this front slice of money muscle, on the right hand side.
Yeah.
There's a little tube in it, and like I'm not a fan of that. I feel like you could have cut that off, and made a little bit better presentation on this box. And like in the top right corner, it looks like Tony's old girlfriend. I think that could have been left out of there.
But do you think you're being a little more critical because you're a cook team and that tube? You can see the tube.
I don't think I'm being more critical, man. I think that I'm just being honest with this person. I mean, this pork may have placed well, because I see a lot of boxes place well that just don't.
Yeah,
look
absolutely, for sure.
But I'm just not a fan of it.
All
I
right,
feel like
Eddie.
the presentation could have been done a little better than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 8 on this one. That whole right side should have been left out.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Again, I mean, and I've said it multiple times on pork boxes. You can with the money muscles, because you can trim it and make it look fucking round or however you want. But first of all, you got 2 muscles in here, right? So the money muscle is the bigger piece. So at least on the first couple, man, I would have just cut the they call it feet. I would have cut the feet off and kind of set it straight up and followed that. Yeah, I'm gonna go 8.
I want to play Pac-Man. I'll go to the fucking video arcade. You know.
So, boys, what do you think if you were to trim that? We see the money muscles on top there, right? If we trim that bottom piece off, even though they're really small, and you line them up symmetrical, are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, because you can see it goes all the way to the top. If you trim that bottom,
you have enough meat here to do what you want.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Next box, please, sir. Poker face. Now, I will say real quick. This is nothing to do with poker face, but clean the lens, please, sir or ma'am, whoever this may be. Whoever's box this is just 8 bullets. We're not firing bullets. I will say clean the lens on this one. However, we're just grading the chicken. And I'll go first on this one. All right, next, the dude 8. Brian Fox. No, I'm sorry. 6, 7, 8. 7, 8.
Shit.
All right, 7, 7, 7. A lot of 7s and 8s. I'll go first here. This is an 8 for me. I can tell they sauced this really early, and I'm a fan of that. But this might have been a little too early, in my opinion. Here, I like the trim, everything about it. I like. I just don't like the way it's turned out right now. I can't see any bass boating. Can't see any seasoning. All I see is, cooked on sauce. So that's an 8 for me. Sorry. Bass boating. Eddie.
All I see is seasoning. So yeah, it's
really?
a 7. Yeah,
all
bro.
you see is seasoning?
Like, if you take a bite of this, you're gonna have a fucking mouthful of grain, like just everywhere. You might as well go take a bite out of the sand at the fucking beach.
I don't know that seasoning. I think that's just cooked, baked on.
And yeah, overcooked sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit's sticking to your teeth, regardless on what it is. And he probably dropped it, picked it up, and sauced it. I'm just kidding.
Look at our girl Jen. She's on a roll tonight. Jen is
big 7 for me.
She's on a roll tonight. Chris Davis.
I left Iraq years ago, and I don't feel like eating sand no more, so I wouldn't even touch this. I'd leave the fucking table, man. Like that looks like hot garbage, man. Like it's no good. I mean, it's on the bottom end, dude. Like, I mean, I think it got way too much smoke, and I agree with Eddie, man. All you're going to taste is the seasoning. It's going to be very gritty. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
I'm pretty sure the box did very well.
First place, probably. All right, next box, please, producer Ty. What the hell was that, Eddie?
I was laughing at Wes.
What did Wes say? 18 just so good. I can see where their illegals are getting in. Just saying. Somebody left that gate open. All right, we got 10. They use a fat sharp. That's a nice steak. 10, 9, 10. Peter is a world champion. No question about it right there. World champion 10. The dude 9, 9, 9, 9, 10, 10, 10, 8. Josh Hale in the house with a 9. Chris, you're up first, sir.
I've judged SCA competitions before multiple times, and I will say in SCA competition, this would probably get a good score. But
did you say would?
It would.
Okay.
It would get a good score.
Yep.
if I was judging this, the only thing I would say is that one little mark that Wes is talking about where Biden's gate was left open, that's the only thing I would critique about this. Other than that, dude, I would definitely give this, I'd give it a 9.
Eddy, you're up.
Yeah, Wes is on a fucking roll today.
I love Wes.
He's
Wes.
always on a fucking roll. Yeah, I mean, if I'm judging it on my personal opinion, I like a teardrop steak over a round steak. For SDA, that's how I trim mine. And I like my grill marks a little bit with the angle, like a diamond more than a square, if you will. But man, I'll give it a 10. It's just my personal opinions. What I would do different, but it's a fucking 10. It's a great looking steak.
I bet you it tasted wonderful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like you can see it's rendered properly, it's cooked right and everything. But I mean, I guarantee you it tasted great.
As a world champion runner-up steak cook, just fucking with y'all. I can't give it a 10 because I know the guy did not execute his perfect plan, and he would not say that's a 10. Just because of that very first one that didn't completely get grilled. Yeah, so it's a 9. But it's beautiful. I bet it scored first place all day long. But we're talking about appearance, and I know the guy did not execute, or gal, did not execute exactly what they were going for. So I'm going to go.
But you can also see, Rob, too,
9.
where the gate is open. There's a little fat right there, and that may have caused that grill mark not to stick right there.
Yeah, there's a fat seam right there, and there's also maybe the grill was not completely clean. I don't know what it may be, but you can, Chris, you know what they're trying to accomplish. They did not, so I'm giving it a 9.
I'm gonna assume this was not SCA. I guess this was Brian.
This was not
Brian
SCA.
Fox's,
No.
Brian Fox's fiance.
Okay. Well, she hit first. Congratulations.
It was cooked on a Raptor engine.
Chansey. But I guarantee Chansey was not happy with that point that I'm talking about right there. So, again, we're just trying to be perfect on this show.
Yeah.
9. Next, producer Ty, please. Clean the lens again. I'm curious to see what this one does here tonight. Peter, another world champion. And SCA, that fat seam would be on the taste side and not affect the appearance score.
It would be.
So you're saying that would not affect an appearance score? Okay. All right.
For the most part, no, it would not. I mean, it's still skeptical and it's still up to judges, not skeptical, but,
9, 9, 9. Tighten those slices up. 9, 9, 9, 9. A lot of 9s. 8 feels like a lot of TQ. 9, 8. Too much TQ. Rena Gonzalez in the house. 9. Never mind. It's bowed. Okay. Or box. Oh, sorry. My bad. Box. 9, 9. All right. No 10s. A lot of 9s. A lot of 9s. Everybody's giving it a 9. Chris Davis, you were up first, my man.
All right, so I would give this an 8, and the reason being, I would have reversed my slices. I'd have started with the back slice in the front and laid them all the way back, because that front slice doesn't look rendered like the rest of the slices do. And I believe that a box should be filled from side to side. So I'd give this an 8. I mean, it probably was a good tasting brisket, but I think, I agree with a couple of these people on here that it's got a little too much TQ. I mean, this looks like a Justin Margis brisket from 2015, Like, there's a lot of TQ on this brisket, so.
I'll go next. I'll definitely give that a 9 as well. I can see the TQ. I do see that it's tender. I can definitely tell that that's a tender brisket. I like the thick slices. It's just not laid out as perfectly as I would like. Again, on this show, we're trying to be appearance only forward. That's it. Eddie, you're up next, and then I do have a TQ question for everybody on the panel here tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 8 on this one. The slices are too small for me. Tender quick, and that front slice doesn't look tender to me. The rest of them, like starting from slice number 4 up,
they look good.
Great.
Like I want to bite that shit.
Yeah,
It should have been reversed.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
and yeah. I mean, I saw a comment that said they look like the full box, but I don't see a full box. I see a lot of foil.
All right, a lot of guys will not admit that they use TQ, but if you are going to use TQ, what is the timeline to do it? I know we've all tried it.
I've never tried it. Swear to God.
Really? Okay.
Nope.
Well then, Chris, have you tried it?
I used to back in the day, man. I tried it probably about, I don't know, maybe fucking 8 to 10 comps. Did not like it. I thought it looked, like it was fake. But if I had to say a timeline, I would say put it on there. No more than 5 minutes. Wash it completely off before you ever start seasoning. So, I mean, this is definitely TQ. This person probably won't admit it, but it's TQ.
Yeah,
It
I
probably
know a lot
won.
of people use it. I mean, I've never tried it, and I don't think I will. Man, sometimes people make it look good and not obvious, but sometimes, man, it's too obvious. And
Yeah, especially the guys that keep it on there 10 minutes. You can see it.
man, you have a fucking smoke ring halfway through
Lipstick.
the
Yeah, I would say a minute, maybe a minute and a half is all you need, honestly. If you're gonna do it, I've tried it about a minute and a half. This isn't bad to me though. I'm just telling you. I bet it won. This is a good looking brisket here, but you can see But if you're a judge off the street, you're gonna be like, holy shit, look at that smoke ring.
But this brisket was also blocked too, Rob. You can tell, like on the side, like it was TQ'd like on the sides and the top,
Ty, what do you think, my man?
What do I think about using TQ?
Now, what do you think about this brisket right here?
I mean, I know whose brisket this is. I don't understand the TQ argument all the way. I do understand when it gets glossy, so I guess that's when you leave it on too long. But to me, just like Wes says, y'all are here to freaking win checks and make stuff look real good and taste real good for each bite those judges take. To me, it's just like a layman. This is a 10 because when I sit down as a non-trained cook or non-trained judge and I see this box, it looks like it tastes good. Maybe a bad picture. It's cut off a little bit, so Gooder Gang, just send the full thing in. Don't cut anything off. But man, this looks great. I don't understand the TQ thing though. What is TQ? Is it like a chemical burn or something, or what?
TQ is tender quick.
Tender quick.
Yeah, I know what that is. What does it do though?
So
It falsifies a smoke
the
ring.
meat.
Is what it does. It gives you a smoke ring, when you're probably not going to get that smoke ring, which most contests, they don't judge off smoke ring. They're not supposed to judge off smoke ring, but some of them do.
Yeah.
Right.
So it starts curing the meat right from the top. That's why you have to wash it off. If you don't wash it off, it's going to cure through, and that's where you get these fucking smoke rings that are this big. So it starts to cure the meat. You wash it off, and then man, you can. I don't know. I think you can cut that meat, and you'll probably see a fucking red ring around it already on a raw piece of meat.
I love Randall Johnson's comment. I use it and don't wash it off. Okay.
Some people don't, Randall. I judged the contest probably about 5 years ago, and as soon as I touched the lid, it popped off. The brisket filled the entire box, like from top to bottom. And when I opened it up, it looked like a fucking sandwich from fucking Katz's Deli in New York City. That TQ ring was that damn thick.
Mm-mm.
There was about that much that was not TQ.
All right, y'all ready to move along?
Yes, sir.
All right, next, producer Ty.
CBA box.
Is it now though? I think you can do this in the IBCA now.
Yeah, you can, but there's 9 in here. So
is there still a number in IBCA?
Yeah, it's 8.
Okay, didn't know. JJ, they are flip-flopped how I would present them, yes. But doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't like this present. I don't like this. I know. Poker face, but I was answering JJ. A lot of eights, a lot of eights, a lot of eights. Turn them bones. I agree, Jen. Turn them bones. Chris Davis, you are up first, my man.
I'm gonna give it a 7 because I don't like the presentation. You know, like I feel that they could have put another rib in that box because there's room for another rib. It's obviously a CBA box. We all know that, and I don't think the bones are turned the proper way. They look like they're tender, but I mean, I'm gonna go with a 7 because the presentation just does not look good to me at all.
Eddie?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 7. That on the bottom row, the rib on the right side could have been left out. You could have had a better looking box with 8 bones in here, because I mean, if you're gonna fill the box with 9 or 10 bones, man, make them look good, right? Because you're like, fuck, I have so many to pick from that I want to do them all, but man, you have some shitty fucking bones here that you could have left out, and maybe it would have been a little bit better. But again, face your fucking toenails the same way all the time. 7.
My boy. I can't say what I want to say, Eddie, because it's not.
I always say 7s are personal. This is
my sugar.
As a category world champion rib cook.
Where was that at?
I'm just fucking with y'all. I will say I don't like this at all. I'm sorry. I want to flip the bones around.
Toenails.
It's just I don't try and fix the spacing on the right top bone and the right bottom bone. Make them flush if you can. I just don't like this at all. I'm sorry. And I don't give 7s very often, but this is a 7 for me.
Rob, you
Yes,
technically
sir.
are a world champion, bro, and I was there for that first world championship, and it was fucking epic.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Eddie, you gave me a hug.
No, well, but where was it?
San Antonio.
San Antonio what?
No. I'm not talking about that one, dude. I'm talking about the party at the American Royal, the very first year y'all won.
Oh, fuck that. I'm not a world champion.
Oh, yeah, you're a world champion party, bro.
No.
That damn party was epic.
When San Antonio is recognized as it properly should, and if we recognize categories, then I will say it again. But
yeah, but if San Antonio becomes a world championship, you were still not a world champion because it wasn't a world champion when you got it, bro.
There were. I'm not going to argue with you here. I will accept that.
No,
fine. I will accept that. I will not accept that. But 298 teams with international teams.
World champion party.
It is a better. No, fuck that. I will never accept
Was there
that.
international teams competing in the party tents?
I will not accept that ever.
Eddie,
Ever.
Hey, Eddie.
Ever. Corporate sponsors.
It wouldn't have mattered how many international teams were competing, bro.
Fucking tie.
No one would have won that except for Rob. That party was phenomenal.
You know what? I can't party. I'm a tailgater by trade. That's how I got into this thing. But yeah.
He's like the Conor McGregor of parties.
Are we done with this box tie? I think
world champion rip.
Thank you, Chicken Fried.
From where?
He's talking about San Antonio.
Oh, yeah, no.
Why no, Eddie?
Because
it is. Do you think there's more competition at San Antonio or Houston? We already talked about this.
I think that it's not a world championship because it's not called San Antonio World Championship.
So do you think smoking on the Rio is better than Houston than San Antonio?
I didn't know. I'm not saying it's better.
Okay, but you're accepting. You are acknowledging an event that called themselves a world championship.
Yeah, I'm acknowledging it because that's what they call themselves. San Antonio doesn't call itself. You consider it that because That's your opinion.
I considered it before that weekend. I've been saying this for years, dude.
They've never
years. I just happened to win it the next year. I said it beforehand. It's on the show. You can go back and watch.
No, I know. I've seen it, and I've
so I've been considering it beforehand. Before Bill won.
I know. I've heard you say it multiple times, and I've
thank you very much. It's not because I won. That's what you just said.
No. I didn't say it's because
you said that. You said because I won.
No, I said because you want to consider it. Does it make you a world champion rib cook? Because it's not a world championship.
You can go back and check my stats on this. It's all on video. I've been doing this 7 years. I've been considering San Antonio a world championship.
Because I won Austin Rodeo.
I don't know if I consider Austin Rodeo one.
There was a Mexico team. There was a Japan team. I'm a world champion.
I'll consider it.
And I had a first place brisket, so I'm an 18-time world champion.
Okay, but to your point,
that he's the Jose Altuve world champion.
You can go. Hey, don't fuck with Jose Altuve. You can go back on my shows, and I've been considering that one prior to what I won. I was just happened to win.
I know. So
I just happened to win
for a long time.
And I didn't say somebody else. Who said it before then? Oh, Bill did. But I consider Bill's a world championship. Bill said he considered it only after he won it. But no, I've been saying it before that, Bill. Can we get this rib box off my screen, please?
We haven't
judged it yet.
Oh, is this a different? Was that a different rib box?
We haven't judged this rib box yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. It looked the same.
This one was actually put in here because this, to me, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 9. And I'll tell you why I didn't give it a 10 is because the little toenails y'all said should be the same way. So the last box had them actually labeled it opposite.
This is the way I would point the toenails.
Like this, but they're opposite. Like the ones underneath are towards the front of the box, right? Yeah. And then the ones on top are towards the back. No,
I like this presentation. I don't like this presentation, but I like this presentation.
Okay, I really like this box. That's why I showed it right after the other one. But see, this is still a 9 to me because the toes aren't the same way. But anyway, just my opinion.
I'm loving Jen tonight. She's like, let's move on. Let's go. Come on, next.
So I'm gonna give you some insight on that box right there. All right,
go for it. Is this your box?
It's not my box, but I would give this box a 9. Whoever's box this is, I hope you're listening. I hope you're watching. If you'd have left the bone out on the left-hand side, both of those bones, and made it a 6-bone box, this box probably to me would have been a 10. I think that bone could have been left out because it doesn't look as clean as the other bones does. So that's my personal opinion on it.
Yeah,
but I would give it a 9 as it is right now.
If it had 6 bones, I'd probably give it a lesser score, but I'm gonna give it a 9. Looks good, and I used to set up my ribs like this with the meat side facing the front, and I don't remember who it was, but somebody was like, "Man, I'd put the bones to the front because you don't want people going at that part with all the fat." But on the last, I don't remember, it was the last episode or the one before. Man, whenever you give somebody a rib, that's the part they go for. They go for that fucking fatty part, and so I don't have a problem with this box. I'll give it a 9 just because that left one's fucking falling off.
Yeah, they do know that. Hide the dirty toenails. I'll give it a 9. I wish I'd like to see a little more bass boating. I'd give it a 10. Color looks good. I just need to see a little more seasoning.
More bass
in the
boat.
rib.
It looks like a Skeeter bass boat from like 1986.
Nope. I need to see a little more. I think the color looks good. I just need to see. I mean, if you've seen my ribs, they're definitely different than this.
They have like a whole bottle of dust.
I feel like Robert Smith could catch 3 gators out of this fucking rib box.
It's a good looking box. Don't get me wrong, but I like what Eddie said about that end piece over there. Okay, next. Serge asks, can you help to keep the pullback to a minimum? Yeah, you.
Yes, you can.
Pull him earlier. What are you thinking, Chris? On that
You
question?
can also squeeze the blood out of them too. You know, when you squeeze the blood out of them, it helps them draw back slower. And if you wrap the color, you know, you can wrap a little earlier to get them tender. And they may, it don't always happen, but they may or may not pull back as much.
All right, Jen Lee with a 10, 9, Brian Fox, 9, Little Gringo, 9, Micho, 9, Gordo Q. We're going to go 20 more minutes on this show tonight. We got a few more boxes. We'll give some parting comments from Chris Davis and Eddy Morales. A lot of 9s on here. I'll go first here. I like this box. I'm a 10 on this. I like the fat on the bottom. And I want to ask our panelists, Chris and Eddy, what you guys think of that fat on there. I see nothing wrong with this box. This is a 10 all day long. I want to eat it. It looks tasty to me. Chris Davis, you're up next.
I'm going to give it a 9. I like the way it looks, but on that front slice, man, I think that's a little bit too much fat. I think I would have taken it down a little bit. That's just my personal preference, but I would say this box is a 9 is what I would give it.
Now, are you taking that down because you're a comp cook and you don't want to maybe hurt you, or are you taking it down because you don't want to taste that at all?
I'm taking it down because I don't want it to hurt me, because there's a lot of people out there that don't like fat. Mm-hmm. And if you don't like fat and that's the first slice out there, I mean, it's going to hurt you. So I would say it's probably a little bit of both, Rob.
All right, Eddy.
I don't mind that first slice. I don't care about the fat.
I don't either.
If you don't like the fat, you're gonna figure out a way to not eat
right.
it. But I'm still gonna give it an 8. The first 5 slices look great, man, but the 3 back ones look like you just fucking threw them in the box and then decided, man, maybe I should make it look better. So yeah, it's gonna be an 8, and it has potential. Clean it up a little bit, and then that au jus, that puddle in the front, man, that does bother me.
So I put a paper towel in the front of my box every time I start boxing, just to kind of soak up that stuff, you know.
Yeah. What's up, Tony?
Yep. I agree with you, Chris, on that.
10 from Caesar. 10. Chance. I'll tell you later. What's scared? That first slice looks like a conjugal visit. Okay. No. Look at all that deliciousness. I think people are torn. Gooder Gang, real quick, before we go to the next box, just say yes or no on that first slice.
Yes.
Yes or no? I'll go yes.
No.
Eddy said yes.
I say no.
Chris said no. Just real quick before we go to the next box, simple yes or no.
Appearance, no. Taste, yes.
Okay. You don't know about the taste, but Rozicki said no. Brian Fox, yes. Rini, yes. Serge, yes. Gordo, yes. Jen, yes. Chase, yes. Chance, I'm sorry. Kit, yes. Little Gringo, no. All right, so I would say,
it's mostly
look at Randall Johnson, one of the best brisket cooks in Texas. I will consider him with a yes. All right, so I don't know. It looked like 12-2, yes versus no.
Rob, do you know Randall at all?
It's Chase. Yeah, I've met Randall.
Yeah. Randall's a really cool dude, man.
Cool dude. Great cook, by the way, too, as well.
Wes asked me to educate you on conjugal visits, Rob.
Well, let's do it.
That's definitely a conjugal visit right there. And you weren't the first one either. Conjugal visit is what you get in prison.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. But what are you talking about there? Oh, it's wet?
It's all sloppy and everything. Like Tony can tell you. Tony can tell you. Let Tony elaborate.
It's all wet? Okay, I got it. Got it. That is more funny now. All right.
There were 14 people before you.
Got it. Next. Poker face. Eddy, you know this.
I know. It's
So
just,
at least the toenails are the same way.
yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
And do you like this or no, Eddie?
No.
You don't like them both face
No,
the
no,
same
no.
way?
Oh yeah,
Or you
no.
just don't
Yeah,
like this.
I like them face the same way. Yes.
All right, we got a lot of 10s. 10. Surge, almost a 10, but a 9. 10 hurt my eyes with all that shine. 9, 10. 7, Jen. 7s are personal. Wes Garrett with a 10. All right. I'll go first. It's ribs. Why not? All right, we're just doing appearance only. I'll give it a 9. I don't like the unevenness on the bottom. That third one from right to left, simple trim on the front makes that appearance-wise look completely even. They're not even on the bottom.
This is my turn.
It's a 9. It's a 9. Eddie, you're up. Eddie, you're up.
7.
Eddie, you're up.
7. Ooh. So, if we're going left to right, that third rib, when they were cutting it, I don't know if they cut it upside down or not, but the top of that rib came off, and then they just put it back on there and tried to fill it in with sauce. So that tells me that these ribs, and Chris loves to say it on Facebook, these ribs are fucking dry from the top. They're crispy. They're not tender from the top. You can take that, the top peels off, and you can see it on that fucking third rib right there. 7. I hate this box.
Chris.
I'm not a fan of this box, you know, and the reason being is because what Eddie said, you know, like, I mean, as you open it, does it look decent? Yeah, I mean, it's okay, you know, but you can tell that by looking at this that it's not going to be a good eating rib. And you're asking competition cooks to judge a rib off appearance, but we're not going to judge its appearance. We're also going to judge, you know, everything else that goes along with that rib. And I can tell by looking at this rib that this rib is tight. This rib is not tender, and I would have tightened up the bottom a little bit, you know, because you got that teardrop on that third rib from the left hand side.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Right hand side, you know.
That's what I commented on. But now looking at it again, rib from left to right, rib number 3. Looks like somebody bit into it already.
That's what I'm saying, bro. When he was cutting it, it just took the top of the meat off.
It peeled off, and he filled it with sauce, is what he did. He tried to fucking touch it up with seasoning, but it didn't work for him.
All right, yeah, the first two, if you trim the bottom of that second from the left to right, if you trim the bottom on that one, those are 2 perfect ribs. Now, we can't tell with the lighting.
I'll give people a little bit of insight on this, too, you know, like, if I had to say there's one category I do the best in, I would say it would be ribs. Mm-hmm. And with ribs, I leave, you know, at least half an inch to 3/4 of an inch off of the bone. That way I have room that I can come in afterwards that I can cut straight across. I can cut straight across and make that presentation perfect. Whether it's CBA, IBCA, Lone Star, it doesn't matter, you know.
Bro, stop talking.
Everybody eats with their eyes first, bro.
Shut up, bro.
Next box. How many more we got, Ty? Are we done?
You're talking too much, bro.
Last 2.
Last 2. All right, we got 2 more, and we got 10 minutes left in the show.
You're giving people ideas, Chris.
All right.
I mean, we gotta help people
yes,
out.
I do the exact same thing. Yeah.
We got to help people out, man.
I'll make sure
none of us got where we're at without help. So
yeah, absolutely. Can we help here? I need some Bill Purvis photography.
We can help here.
Center the box,
Find a new
please, before
fucking
you
hobby.
send it.
That's what we can help with.
Before you send this in, please center the box. Take a photo up and above, and then crop it before you send it in here, because this is hard to judge, because we see right side, we don't see left side.
I'm pretty sure it was crumbling just like the right side.
I thought Willie Richards retired from barbecue.
I think he did.
Well, apparently not.
We got a 9. We got an 8, low 9, 9. Hard to judge. It is a fresh brisket on the board.
Damn.
Fuck you, Wes.
He said this looks like shit.
Fresh brisket on the board.
Damn.
Y'all are supposed to repeat it now.
That means he gave it a 7.
Simplify. Chris, thanks for the tips.
He was lying, bro. Nobody does that.
Yeah, I know. Hey, a lot of eights here. Eddie, you're up first. You're gonna join. You're gonna be the last one. I don't even know what the last box is, but you're gonna be the last one to judge. But you're first here, Eddie.
7.
Why?
So after the first slice, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are broken down the middle. They should have just left the fat on this one. If you're gonna trim it, at least make it even. That first slice looks like they bit off the fat. And both edges are crumbling. So 7. And if you're gonna au jus, man, au jus the whole thing like you did the first slice, do the rest of them like that.
But so Riziki said 11th in
though.
Alvin Music Festival, and there's like 200 plus teams in Alvin.
It looks super tender. I'll give him that.
It does look tender. I'll go next here. We just talked about, hey, are you trimming? How much are you trimming off the back? Can you pull that comment down, Ty, please? How much are you trimming off the bottom? You trimmed a lot there. I would like to see a little bit more, but 11, it didn't hurt him here. So I just don't like the overall. I'll give it a 9. I'm not gonna kill it here. Chris Davis, you're up. Last.
Yeah, I'm completely off the wall from where you are, Rob, because I am gonna kill it.
Okay.
I mean, what's the lowest score I can give? A 6?
7.
7? Okay, well, I'll give it a 6.9. Because, I mean, and this person, I hope this person is watching, because, I mean, it looks like you trimmed it with a dull machete.
He's watching.
I mean, I hope they are, because I'm trying to help them. I'm very critical, but I'm trying to help this person, And it looks like they're too cheap, 1, to take a class, and 2, they're just watching videos on the internet and looking at this stuff. Because, I mean, this is just, it's not good, man. I mean, what were you thinking putting this in the box? Because it just, the first slice looks okay. The rest of the slices, they do not.
But it's tender.
Oh, it's tender. If by tender you mean overcooked, yes, it's tender. I will say this, though. They did not use TQ, so.
No, they didn't.
No, they did not. Which I like.
Perfect smoker.
I mean, to me, it's too thin as well, I feel like you could have, could have gave it a little bit more thicker slices. You could have put a little bit more au jus on it. Could have made it look a little better in the box, I mean, it just, to me, it's just not a good looking brisket at all.
Could have cooked it better.
Could have cooked it better.
Damn. Hey, Chris, what place did you get at Alvin on brisket?
I don't remember.
Oh, he remembers. It was 11th.
He beat your
ass. Where he
Chris.
finished it overall? Because I remember where
11th.
I finished it overall. I finished 10th. And I think that's a point that needs to be made too.
Oh,
Eddie,
absolutely, bro.
Some people need to realize, just because you do good at one cook-off doesn't mean you're going to do good at other cook-off. It's all about consistency.
I thought you were going to say something else.
That was the Alvin Music Festival World.
I thought you were going to say that people think that if they beat you in one category, they're better.
No, there's a lot of people out there that do think that, But I mean, barbecue is about consistency, I mean, if you get fucking damn 10th place, 11th place, 12th place, whatever in fucking a category, it doesn't really mean anything, I mean.
So, Chris, how much? Ty, pull that picture down, please. How much do you take into account consistency? Like how you do versus the field, like week to week to week to week. I had a spreadsheet and I applied it to my power rankings, and it basically said how you finish consistently across the field. Say you finish 5th, 4th, 6th, 12th, 20th, depending on, if you had a 10th, if you had a 22 team contest, a 30 team contest, whatever it may be. I feel I take that into account in a higher scale than maybe some other people. Talking
Who
to you,
you
Chris.
asking?
I'm asking you, Chris.
You said Chris. You're the only fucking Chris here.
I didn't hear him say my name. Fuck you, Eddie.
I said it.
So ask it again. Ask what you're saying again, Rob.
That was a long ass question.
That was. All right. So I took into account when I did my power rankings, I took into account, like, I went to all the top teams that I could think of, not in just CBA, in other sanctioning bodies. And I took into account how they finished. So, Chris, I'll just say Chris Davis. Okay. Cross Rifles Barbecue. If you finish 4th overall in a 30-team contest 1 week, and you finish 8th overall in a 60-team contest the next week, or you finish, 15th overall in a 32-team contest. So the average percentage of those scores had a big influence on how I judged all the teams in my power rankings. What do you think about that?
So with me, I'm in the top 5% of the contest that I could. I'm in the top 5%, 87% of the time. I'm in the top 10%, 91% of the time. In your power rankings, man, hate to say this, Rob, but you were wrong in your power rankings, bro.
Okay. How so?
You should have never had anyone above Phil Breeden. Phil Breeden, man, like in Texas barbecue, dude, Phil Breeden he's the GOAT in Texas, dude. There is no one better than Phil Breeden. I know it's an opinion. It is. But in Texas barbecue, there is no one better than Phil Breeden. That's not just my opinion because he's my friend. That's my opinion because it's I mean, in my eyes, I feel it's the truth, dude. This man hasn't cooked a CBA event in, 7 weeks? He's still number one. Still number one. And he hasn't cooked a CBA event in 7 weeks. He's been doing KCBS over in Australia. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to deny.
My rankings were before Australia, by the way.
I know, but it's hard to deny him the number one spot, though, brother. I mean,
I had stats behind it, and there are stats. You can put it on there, and I can share with you.
Man, I think your stats are wrong, brother.
They're not. They're stats.
Man,
they are statistics.
They're wrong. He went and cooked in I don't know how many other states, and he was still walking top 5, top 10, whatever. Like, it's like you didn't consider those either.
Say it again. What'd you say? Sorry, Eddie.
I'm saying he went and did the KCBS before Australia, right? He went on his Midwest or wherever he went.
That was before Australia.
I know. That's what I just said. He went and did that before Australia.
And he still did consistently feelings. Hey, trust me, I love Phil, and he is. And if we're going to state the best cooker in Texas, I'm going to put Phil well above anybody else. These are called power rankings.
But you had Robert Smith number one. And don't get me wrong, Robert Smith's a great friend of mine. But Robert Smith hasn't won a contest since early June. Phil has won 2 contests when you put your power rankings out since June. Not in Texas, I'll give you that. Not in Texas, but
it doesn't matter, Texas. I did all of them.
That's just my opinion.
I can show you my spreadsheet, and it wasn't personal.
I know.
I love Phil. And if you ask who's the biggest Texas barbecuer right now, Phil Breeden is it. Phil Breeden is beyond it right now. But if we're talking about, how, oh my God, did you hear what I said about Josh Hale and Stacey Hale? They are the most consistent team in Texas right now. Stats back it up. They
are very consistent.
They are always top 3, top 2. Now, grand champions, they matter. They definitely matter. But I'm not gonna back down of what I said at that time. Now, Phil and Carmen went to Australia and won another one. If we're gonna do another power rankings this week, Phil Breeden's number 1. He leapfrogged everybody right now. But I didn't. It wasn't personal. It was stats based. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I understand that, dude.
Everybody has their own opinion, even if they're wrong.
If you talk to Phil right now, prior to that, maybe not Phil. Phil's probably pissed. But if you were to go back and Phil had a lull prior to going to Australia.
But all of us go through lulls,
I understand that, but it's a power ranking. It's not an overall how you love somebody that's doing well. It's what you do in those moments, in those stretch of moments. And right now, if I were to do another power rankings right now, Phil would be number 1. He went to Australia. He kicked ass.
But
he'd be number 1 right now.
But that power ranking was 2 weeks ago.
It was before Australia. Eddie,
it's a great friend of mine.
It was before Australia.
It was before Australia. Yes, it was. But before Australia, Phil also went and won an automatic to the Jack in Utah.
Say it again. I'm sorry. What?
He won an automatic to the Jack in Utah.
Who?
He went to Sweet Home. Phil did. Before Australia, he went and won an automatic to the Jack in Utah. He also went to Sweet Home, Oregon, and finished in the top 10 with 70. I think it was like 78 teams.
Hold up. Did he win Utah?
He won Utah. Phil did.
So why didn't he get Why did he have to go to Australia?
He didn't have to. He chose to.
I don't know that he won Utah.
He won Utah.
He did, bro.
He won Utah. He GC'd in Utah. Colorado Bulldog finished second.
So then why did he need number 7?
Because he wanted to go. Like, Rob, you've known Phil long enough, man.
So Utah was a 50-50 deal.
What? Hold on. What?
So first of all, they've had this Australia trip planned for a long ass time.
I understand that. It was done. It was prior to that, right?
Won. So, but Utah had 2 contests, so it was a 50-50 deal. It wasn't a for sure.
His GCs in Utah, it wasn't an auto.
Okay, it wasn't an auto. So it was a
50-50.
One of 50. It was 50-50, But he still went there and he won that in Utah, My whole point is that it's kind of hard to put someone above him in Texas barbecue. That's my whole point, especially, like I love Robert Smith. Him and Chris are great friends of mine, but Robert hasn't won a contest since June. He won New Braunfels in June. Phil's won 2 or 3 contests since then.
Dude, we did our power rankings 3 weeks ago.
Eddie's fucking commenting on this shit.
Yeah, I will say this too. The correlation that I made, like when we started doing this, because I remember Eddie turned in a list like 2 months ago, and you said, okay, we're not going to do it yet. And then the last time we did the list is not the 4 to 6 weeks that we're doing for the 4 to 6 weeks worth of power ranking. So maybe next time we'll just make sure that we say this covers from this state to this state. That way there won't be as much consternation. But I see Chris's point about you could never put somebody above Phil or Bill or
Oh, I'm not trying to argue or anything.
In Texas,
stating what I feel is facts.
Yeah, absolutely, and I see those facts. But the 4 to 6 week that we are doing for the power rankings, like some brand new cook could just be kicking the shit out of everybody for that 4 to 6 weeks. So technically, for that power rankings, they could have 3 GCs and everybody else could have 7 for the rest of the year. If that 4 to 6 power ranking band is where we're ranking them, and they've won 3 of the last 4 contests, they're going to be number 1, and Phil's going to be number 4 in that particular power rankings. But is that cook better than Phil Breeden? Probably not.
It's
but
called
for
a
the
power rankings. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And it's not a how you been doing for the rest, for the last year and a half. It's what you've been doing now. And
conclusion of the show is we didn't fucking agree on anything today.
Nothing. Jen Lee made a comment. It's clear as mud. It absolutely is clear as mud.
But it is true. It is clear as mud, because it's all opinion is what it is, So, I mean, personally,
Phil and Carmen went to Australia. They won the GC. He got number 7. At that time, Ira Green already had 7, right?
Yep.
Phil didn't. That matters. Now, Phil got 7 after I did the power rankings. So it's a big deal. To me, everything matters right now. And I had stats to back it up. Dude, I had...
You had Robert 3 spots ahead of, or 2 spots ahead of Ira.
1 spot. 1 spot ahead of Ira. It was Robert, Ira, Josh, then Phil. That's what it was.
I think it was Josh. But Josh
had Josh at 2nd. And he had Robert at 1st.
Yeah, Josh at 3, and Ira at 2, and Robert at 1.
I don't think that's how it was, but either way, Ira had his 7, like you said, and then you had other people in front of him.
Yeah.
But I also had their percentages ahead of them, and that mattered to me. So, it's all. Eddie, what was your ranking? How you liked the guys? I mean, how you thought they were gonna do?
No, absolutely not. My fucking rankings were,
you took
I had
CB off your list because I gave you stats.
No,
and you took them off your list.
No.
Yes, you did. Yes,
no,
you did.
You didn't.
Facts.
No, I didn't take them off.
Facts. I already knew. I already knew your list
because
I gave you
a list. I had Brandon on there,
and you're like, "Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right." Let me take.
You're gonna ask me a question and answer, or what?
Go ahead.
So I took off Brandon off my list because I overlooked CB Barbosa. So I removed Brandon and put CB on my list. That's the only thing that changed.
Well, who gave you those stats about CB?
Not you.
Yes, I did.
I think CB is a great cook, dude. He really is. He does not cook it a lot, but CB is a great cook.
His percentages are off the charts.
Yeah, CB is.
He wasn't even on yours, so your little whatever the fuck you did.
Because he's not cooking enough. That's all. But he did when he does cook. When he does cook, he wins.
Right. So it's power rankings, right?
It is power rankings, and it's subjective, bro. You can put whoever you want on there.
Put whoever you want.
I didn't do it with heart. I did it with stats. I'm sorry.
Well, no, that's fine, but yours was wrong. At the end of the day,
the next week, but my next power rankings will be right because it is not how you predict; it's how you've done. Sorry,
it's not. It's not how you predict. It's not predicting.
Here's my opinion on that, Rob. Like, I mean, I'm not saying this because he's my friend, dude. I'm saying this because it's true.
He's my friend. He's one of my very good friends too.
He's everyone's friend,
too, man. Like, I'm not saying this because he's our friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this because it's true. There's a reason why Phil Breeden has not cooked in the state of Texas. He has not cooked a CBA event in what, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. He's still number 1. So that, in my opinion, I believe he should be number 1 in the power rankings. There's a reason behind that. He is Texas barbecue. And
I don't disagree with that.
He is the greatest.
Who's the best? If I were to present a Texas barbecuer right now, It's Phil Breeden.
And if you were to present a
wasn't 2
Texas
weeks ago?
barbecue who could beat Phil Breeden, who would it be?
What's your question?
If you were to present a Texas barbecuer who could beat Philip Breeden right now, who would it be?
I mean, it's any given Saturday, bro.
Philip Breeden. That's who beats Philip Breeden right now. He's that hot right now. I'm just saying. I mean, he is, dude. Like, I mean, come on now. Like, the dude is on fucking fire, bro. And I don't say that about a lot of fucking people, man. Like, I mean, if you got it, you got it. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Y'all are making me seem like I don't believe in Phil Breeden. I love Phil Breeden.
We're not making you seem like that.
Dude, trust me. I went on stats. It was not anything other than who's doing what in each and every single contest they compete in. So, yeah. What about Ira?
Ira's a good cook.
Do you respect the league he's cooking in?
No, I do not.
Why not?
That's
Why not?
That's not up for fucking speculation or anything. Everybody knows how I feel about IBCA. I think IBCA is the JV league of barbecue. I will never back down from that statute.
Dude, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, it is another conversation, but that's how I feel about it, dude. I mean, that's my opinion. That's how I feel. I mean, I feel that if Ira, Randall, what's his name? Alec Katz, Blake, whatever his name is, they come into CBA and they cook CBA the way they cook IBCA. They don't even finish in the top 50. I mean, let's be real, dude. And I love Ira and I love Randall. I don't know Blake, but I love Ira and I love Randall. But I'm gonna be real about it, man.
I think it's bedtime.
It is what it is. I just don't think the same way whenever everybody was cooking IBCA and we had Lone Star, we all felt the same way about Lone Star cooks. We felt that they were not up to the caliber of IBCA cooks. It's that way now in Texas barbecue with CBA and IBCA. People can argue, and I'm not taking no punches at anybody or anything, but I mean it just is what it is, dude. If you cook CBA 10 weekends in a row and you go to an IBCA event, odds are you're probably going to do really good in that IBCA event. If you cook IBCA 10 weekends in a row and you come to a CBA event, odds are you can get your ass handed to you.
Rank your sanctioning bodies right now, Chris.
Sanctioning bodies, all sanctioning bodies?
Yeah.
I would put fucking KCBS at the top, CBA. I would put Outlaw. There's some really good cooks in Outlaw. Then I would put IBCA. Then I would put Lone Star.
Ouch.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm going off this. I'm saying this because.
So if you pit the top CBA cooks versus the top KCBS cooks, you're saying KCBS cooks come out ahead?
I believe KCBS cooks are going to come out ahead. There's a reason why, man. I mean, I just think that KCBS cooks are more focused than CBA cooks. And I'm not saying anything about
focused.
CBA.
What do you mean by that focus though? What do you mean?
They pay more attention to their cook, dude. Like, we party a lot here in Texas, bro. Let's be real.
But if you were to have a competition, Eddie, you've cooked both. Where do you feel the most competition is?
KCBS.
Why?
For one of the reasons for what Chris said. And I mean, I think, man, in KCBS, you travel more, right? So you go to different states. In Texas, we're only in Texas. Right. So we kind of know what Texas barbecue and what people like in Texas. But KCBS, man, you go all over the fucking place. So you got to adapt to pretty much everything.
So, Chris, where's the most competition? KCBS?
What do you mean most competition? What do you mean by
If you go to the KCBS World Invitational versus CBA is still young, 3 years in, 4 years in, whatever it may be. But if you get, where's the biggest competition in your opinion? Are you gonna do better in a CBA competition with all the top cooks there, or are you gonna be better in a KCBS competition with all the top cooks there?
I'm probably going to do better in a CBA competition. I'm going to do better because I have more experience cooking than others do. But with that being said, I think the most competition is in KCBS. And the reason being because KCBS cooks, man, they're far better cooks than everybody else are. I mean, these guys are cooking all across the country, not in one region. They're not cooking in one region. They're not cooking just in Texas, like we are.
Right, sorry guys. I've been in Midland for 2 days, and I'm about ready for
Eddy can go.
My wife is
Eddy can go. Chris and I will hang out.
So, good talking, good show. Good luck, everybody cooking this weekend. Fuck you, Chris. Love you, Rob.
Love you too, bro. We'll see you later.
I just think that there's more competition in KCBS than there is in CBA, man, because you have a lot of cooks in CBA that only cook, 1, 2, 3 competitions a year, and a lot of you have cooks in CBA that do cook a lot of competitions, yes, but it's not the vast majority. The vast majority in KCBS, they cook a lot of competitions. Most of them are cooking anywhere between, 15 to 20 competitions. That don't sound a lot for people in Texas, but it is a lot for KCBS because most of them are traveling anywhere from 6 to 12 hours to get to that competition. Most
I don't know.
We travel, 4 to 6 hours is what we're going to travel. Maybe 8, if you're coming from different parts of the state like Fred is, Fred's got to come. He's got to come all the way up just to cook, But, I mean, it's just my personal opinion. And
that's all it is. And I will say my personal opinion is that, you have the Brad Leiningers, you have the Darren Wars goats, right? I feel like they are goats, but you also have the Fred Robleses over here, and you have the Phil Breedens on this side.
Fred's a badass.
So if you were to pit barbecue against each other, we're Texas cooks. I don't know where you side on, Chris. I don't know if you were gonna side on yourself as the more KCBS cook versus a Texas cook or whatnot. But man, I will put Texas cooks all day, every day, pitting them against anybody north of Texas or outside of Texas all day, 100%. Man, I feel like we have cut our chops versus some of the greatest cooks that you can, be it South Texas, North Texas, Central Texas, West Texas, whatever it may be, Houston, Texas. We have a whole nother crew here. Versus, KCBS, they've got different regions in there.
I cut my teeth in Texas barbecue, and Texas barbecue will always have a place in my heart, man. But with that being said, I don't think that Texas barbecue is the know-all be-all. I think there are a lot of great cooks out there, from other states. And I think those great cooks deserve a shot, at that title as well.
Look at the American Royal in the last 4 years, Chris. The Texas walk-ups, the scene. We get, you see a lot of Texas teams get their calls up there. This is different, man. We're going up there and competing in their sandbox. It's not our sandbox. We don't.
That's because we're so proud. That's the reason why.
No. What I'm saying is we don't have the upbringing or the know-how of what they're expecting here. as far as KCBS or, Kansas City Barbecue Society. We're going up there and we're providing. We're not changing what we provide. We're not changing what we cook. We're not changing our profiles or nothing like that. The guys that go up there and win and are walking at the KCBS Invitational, KCBS Open, we're just cooking Texas food, man, and it's getting a lot of walks out there. And we're taking a lot of spots from those guys that have, gotten calls out there. It's noticeable. Look at that. I mean, we have gotten a name for ourselves. When we go up there, people are like taking notice of Team Texas going out there and winning and walking and doing all this stuff. So my point being is, once we learn all that sandbox and people are saying, KCBS is better than Texas. Once we learn the sandbox and once we learn how to adapt to what their cooking styles are, man, Texas barbecuers, I'll put us up against anybody.
And I hope that the show puts more Texas teams out there, because there's a lot of Texas teams out there, man, that are scared to fucking go out there and do it. They think that they don't rate it, or they can't do it, because they've never done it before. And that's not necessarily the case. But there are a lot of Texas teams out there that don't think they can do it.
Yeah, there's
me and Eddie had a conversation today. I think there's probably, man, to be real, I probably think there's about 20 teams in Texas that could go and compete every single weekend in KCBS and do extremely well.
100%.
The rest of them, I don't know.
Is it just me, or you're kind of cutting out a little bit?
Hang on. Shit. What about now?
We'll see. I think it's all good. Dropping the deuce. I don't think he's dropping the deuce. All right. No. Well, let's get out of here. This is getting longer. I think
Anthony's comment. Anthony said reception is a 6.
Yeah. We're getting out of here. A lot of good conversation tonight. I think Jen made a good comment. It's clear as mud. We're talking about, what we were talking about as far as world championships versus category world championships. Nothing is determined. I hope we at least push the discussion out there to maybe have a committee. That would be awesome, right? Have a committee to discuss some stuff. I did like that we talked about the power rankings, because you know what? I still stand behind that time. At that time. Now, they're different now than they were 3 weeks ago. Phil Breeden would be number 1 on my list right now for what he did.
And I hope you don't get offended by what I say, Rob. But I mean,
I don't get offended by anything right now. In the fact that we're talking about it is good for me. It's good for the show. Yeah. And I like being, I don't know. If I were to be like, Phil's number 1, which at that time maybe he deserved to be. Eddy put him number 1, but I feel like Eddy was just like, I think he had other people in higher rankings than I did, and I base my stuff on stats. That's it, bro, and that's it. Nothing. No offense to anybody, but I base my stuff on stats, not feelings. So, I call it now fast, my stats would reflect Phil being number 1 if I had that power rankings after Australia. So anyway, all good. That's it.
It's not your thing. You don't like it.
It's not my.
It was great talking, though, bro.
And I kiss it on the lips.
And to be truthful, man, I wasn't bullshitting about what I said about your Texans.
They're good, man. They're all good. Well, hey, shout out to producer Ty. Come in here real quick, bro.
What's up, man?
How are you doing, my man?
That's good. I mean, sometimes you got to have conversations like this. Like I can appreciate you can tell that Chris is a deliberate man. I know the type. I was in the military with people like this.
He's a fucking Marine.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when he forms an opinion, it's going to be a very strong opinion. So I understand this. And To me, it was just a good discourse. I think every now and then you got to shake it up and just have these conversations so that you get some people to move. But the council and maybe
Chris.
like a world championship for real between all the sanctioning bodies, put teams in, that would be awesome. Just to see what would really happen.
There used to be one back in the day, man. There used to be one between KCBS and IBCA, and they called it the Battle on the Border, you know. It used to happen way back when, man. But it don't happen no more, you know, and I don't know why it doesn't happen that way anymore, you know, because if you had all these sanctioning bodies going up against each other, I think it would make barbecue a better place for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally agree.
Chris Davis, thank you for coming on, Eddie. Just because it ain't yours, it's based on feelings. I mean, look at your rankings, Eddie. Look at your rankings. Besides number one, look at your rankings. All right, Chris Davis, thank you so much for coming on the show. Hang out just for a minute, please. Ty, thank you for doing what you do. You are the man. And our co-host of the evening, Mr. Eddy Morales, even though he said, I'm tired, I got to go, he's still commenting in there. He could have hung out with us.
He could have.
He just dropped in my power rankings. I'm just saying right now. He could have been number one. Could have been number one. Dropped at least to number 6 just for.
Oh, he's number 12. He's number 12 now.
All right. He's not even in your top 10 anymore. He's gone.
He's number 10.3.
All right. Chris Davis, who are you voting for in November?
Donald Trump, bro. Donald Trump, 110%.
I could have never guessed, my man.
Why would I ever vote for Come On Me Harris? Never. Would not do it.
All right, for Chris Davis, for producer Ty, for our co-host Eddy Morales, my name is Robert Rocha. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to get Wes Garrett on. Wes Garrett, check your messages. I hope to get Wes Garrett on next week on the show for Wednesday night. But that's going to end the show for tonight. And thank you very much. Case, close us out. Chris Davis, hang on just for a minute.
Good night to all of you wonderful people in Barbecue Nation. You too, California.